and he bit into a decomposed human toe. That one shocked the conscience of the court. I'll go that way. Chewing on a decomposed human toe. Oh, okay, got it. But not police officers leaving the scene what they thought was an issue where there wasn't a danger and there was. Okay, let's move on. Man, I hope nobody was eating tater tots. I hope they while you were telling that story. All right, here we go. First Amendment, Pledge of Allegiance, schools, Texas. You know that in Texas, the law says kids must say the Pledge of Allegiance unless they have a written note from their parents that they are excused from saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, although that seems pretty unconstitutional because the Supreme Court has ruled that under no circumstances can you compel a child to say the pledge, salute the flag, or any of that. But okay, here is a young lady who does not want to say the Pledge of Allegiance. She has a problem with the underdog part because there are many religions, she says, and also she feels that there's a lot of injustice in this country, so it's not really appropriate for her to say it. And she gets into a class with a teacher who does not like this one little bit. So here's what he does. He assigns the class to transcribe the Pledge of Allegiance from memory. And then that is paired with a discussion of the lyrics to Bruce Springsteen's song Born in the USA. He says, I'm not writing the Pledge of Allegiance. That's the same thing as making me say the Pledge of Allegiance. And he deters the argument. In fact, comes in the next day, and he makes a big, long, rambling speech, which I read the transcript of, which I will spare you. But it's pretty long, and it's pretty rambling. He is clearly very upset that she would not write the pledge. He talks about communism is bad, immigrants who come to this country and don't assimilate are bad, people who think sex offenders can be rehabilitated are bad. It goes on and on about all of it. And then he starts basically hassling this young lady by, for example, repeatedly making her sit in different places in class every day, disparaging her in front of the rest of the class as to her lack of extracurricular activities, so on and so forth. This is retaliation for a constitutionally protected activity, which is to not have to write the pledge. He says, you have no case. Now, some of it is just, I didn't do all the things you say I did. That's one thing. But he also says, writing the pledge is different than saying it. You have a constitutional right, I admit, to not say it, but you don't have a constitutional right to not write it. Okay? So you can't come at me because I didn't do anything to you because of your constitutionally protected behavior. That's the case. Now, I'm going to actually go with the teacher on this one, where he doesn't see me, and I'll tell you why. Because, and it relates to what happened to me, because writing the pledge in terms of analysis relative to the lyrics of Bruce Springsteen's song and analyzing it is fairly different than writing it, for example, for the purpose of saluting the flag. It is an analysis issue. I, for example, in high school, took a course in biblical studies. It was a study of the Bible, even the New Testament, but it was not religious. It was as a historical and literature document, which is very different than looking at it in terms of its biblical connotation. So, I'm going to point out him ostracizing her and all of that is another issue like that. I think lawsuit flies for the stigma, but not the actual analysis. What did the court say? This is what we did know. Here's the problem. It all hinges on whether declining to write out the pledge is constitutionally protected, because if it is, then he retaliated against her for constitutional protectivity, and if it isn't, then he's just giving her a hard time. So for the second time today, you end up with the minority dissenter in a split decision who agreed with you. It's not the same thing from a First Amendment standpoint. The other two judges on the panel though said it is functionally the same for First Amendment purposes if you force somebody to say it or you force them to write it. Yeah, but again, I'm making it to analyze as opposed to declare your allegiance to the flag of the United States, especially when you're talking about comparing the lyrics to a Bruce Springsteen song. So I stand by. I stand by my view of it, and to the judges who went the other way, I am flipping them to vote. Constitutionally protected. Okay, all right. Wayne, we'll do this again tomorrow. All right, go tomorrow. All right. Shannon and Mark Thompson. Woohoo! Man, he's in this spot. Mario. Yeah.
I love to see Handel finish that race. I watched the Instagram post.
Yeah. What happened to your head? Oh, I just hit it on it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me tell you, and Phil, I think even you would agree with this. He did the most unhandled thing, and then the most handled thing. The unhandled thing was that he finished the race, and he got the medal. No, I saw it.
Well, I saw the picture of him in the medal this morning, but I didn't took it from somewhere.
No, I actually finished the race. That was the And here's the most handled thing that he did, which was he passed the finish line and he just clapped right there at the finish line.
Hey, calling it Instagram. Video? Yeah, there is.
Okay, Mark Thompson, Atmospheric Rivers, thank you very much. Yes.
Shannon, what else is going on? The reason Mark is here is because he lost so much money over the weekend on March Madness. He had to pick up an extra pill.
I got it. All right. Well, wrap us up. I can tell.
I'll be listening. We have 4 hours. Shannon and Mark Thompson again today. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Smart speaker thing. Click KFI AM 640.
My Pandora on the phone.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Again, I'm Jennifer Jones, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Official fan Cameron and Dino Valley say they're getting ready for more winter weather. They say this storm is expected to peak tomorrow and Wednesday, then dump as much as 3 more feet of snow on the mountain community. Now, some of those areas were hit with as much as 10 feet of snow during the storms in late February and early this month. Snow levels this time around are expected to drop to 3,000 feet. 2 to 4 inches of rain is also forecast for the mountain areas and even the coast and valleys to see 1 to 2 inches. Governor Newsom has proposed a ballot measure to expand mental health services and treatment beds in the state. KFI's Blake Trolley reports live the governor wants to add billions of dollars to the state's mental health treatment system.
The initiative will be partially funded by a bond that would raise between $3 billion to $5 billion. The governor says that money would go toward creating a new behavioral health bed, what he calls state-of-the-art facilities.
Now we're looking at supporting minimum 6,000 beds. That's not the multi-year needs assessment. That would provide support for 10,000 to 12,000 individuals.
Newsom's proposal would also direct at least $1 billion from the existing Mental Health Services Act to house people with mental health and substance abuse issues. Some housing would be specifically aimed at veterans. The proposed ballot measure, which first needs to be approved by the legislature, would go before voters in 2024. Reporting live, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
A union representing tens of thousands of LA School District employees said it is moving forward with plans to strike. The Service Employees International Local 99 says workers will walk tomorrow through Thursday to protest the school district's unfair practices. The union wants a 30% pay hike, among other things, and if cafeteria workers, bus drivers, custodians, and others do strike, schools will be forced to close. Now, school district officials say a state labor board is considering an effort by the district to avert that strike. The district argues the strike is illegal because the union's official justification is that the real reason for the walkout. The district claims it's not about labor practices, but about pressuring the district to improve its salary offers. The California Public Employees Relations Board did not reflect of the weekend for an injunction. An aid worker from the U.S. who was kidnapped in Niger over 6 years ago has been released from custody.
The Biden administration says the release was the result of years of effort. In 2016, the man was kidnapped from his home in the West African country by armed men who ambushed and killed his dog. He'd been doing humanitarian aid work in Niger for more than 30 years. The White House says no ransom was paid and no concession was made to the two man's captors. North Korea says it simulated a nuclear attack on South Korea with a ballistic missile launch. The launch of the weekend was North Korea's fifth missile demonstration this month in protest to the U.S. and South Korea's largest joint military exercises in years. State media said the North leader Kim Jong-un instructed his military to hold more drills to sharpen war readiness of the nuclear forces in the face of aggression by his enemies. The Federal Reserve will close the two-day meeting Wednesday with its latest decision on whether to keep raising interest rates in an effort to tame inflation. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis says there's a sense of caution on Wall Street after UBS said it would buy Credit Suisse for $3.25 billion to avoid a third bank failure this month. The Credit Suisse deal following a week of volatility and panic set off by the collapse of two major U.S. banks, Silicon Valley and Signature Bank. The central bank's been increasing rates in an effort to make borrowing more difficult and slow the economy. And Amazon plans to eliminate 9,000 more jobs over the next few weeks. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy says the second phase of the company's annual planning process was completed this month and it led to those additional job cuts. The KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. The Dow is up 304, S&P is up 23, NASDAQ is down 2, and the average price for the gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.85. Don't wait. Maximize your compensation after an accident. Call Jacoby and Myers now. Justice for you since 1972. Here's SoCal weather from KFI. We've got showers starting the day today, and then later on we'll get heavy rain tonight into tomorrow. Tomorrow, in addition to the rain, we also have a high wind warning for all of Southern California lasting until tomorrow night. Wednesday, we could see the snow levels drop to about 3,000 feet, but otherwise, the rest of us will be in the low to mid 50s. Right now it's 59 in Huntington Beach, 57 in Fullerton, 56 in Arcadia, and in Santa Monica. Let's get a look at your drive at UKFI in the sky in the 10.
There's just got some problems in Pomona. The 10 freeway at westbound past Orange Grove. Crash doing work on there. And not much in the way of major slowing, just like the distraction for a second or two. Crashing off on this time it's on the 105 down Crenshaw Boulevard. Crash there, carpooling. They're going to be talking to go back to the Prairie Avenue. For the Monty, maximum on the 2 freeway. Down at Valley Boulevard, that's on the right shore. It's slow for Baldwin Avenue. And that crash is clear to Westminster 22 freeway. Down at Valley. KFI in the sky, which gets you there faster. I'm Will Robert. This hour is brought to you by your Southern Florida Mortgage. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Let me calculate. Your case will be handled by your lawyer, paralegal, and a case manager who's always in the office with you when your lawyer's in court. There's also a 24-hour hotline. If you ever have a question or a problem, we've collected over $15 billion. Yes, a lot. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. Lots of people hired us. More and more. This is brought to you by Here's one thing you can just complex for savings. With limited quantity deals on collectible and PCs, powered by self-managed core processors, save on select Costco laptops with built-in security features and select privacy laptops for the next privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories, plus free shipping and essential financing with zero business credit. Call my Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. This is Jacob and Mark. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB. More stimulating Gary Hoffman. Let's begin this new chapter together. Let's start the war right now.
live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. There is a way for a few days. So Mark Thompson has agreed to join me, and I'm thrilled.
The thrill is mine.
You're not going to pass out over there and fall into the depths, are you? Not to make light of what happens locally on the
Oh,
local
was the
news.
weather person who passed out again?
That was scary.
It really was scary. And that look on his face, the whole thing was like a little like slowing down a traffic accident.
I mean, I felt bad watching it the second time.
Yeah, and believe me, by the fifth time, you really feel bad watching it. So, just saying. But then oddly, by like the seventh or eighth time you watch this time,
You're terrible.
no, I only watched it once, but it really was, you felt for her.
So,
But she's gonna be okay, right?
yes, she's had issues, I guess, some health issues in the past. We'll talk about it coming up in the next hour.
Anyway, I'll be here and fully engaged in that.
That's awesome. Speaking of weather, I'm going to ask your opinion on this right off the gate. Do you believe, are you in the camp that the first day of spring is March 20th or the 21st?
I always went 20th first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I heard on the radio on the way in, a guy who works for another station adamant about the fact that spring starts on the 21st. And he was yelling at his partner about it. Like, very, very serious reaction.
Well, we all need to carve out our territory. It's nice that we carved out the 21st. I really haven't heard of that issue being the kind of thing that you really want to, go to court over. But I guess it's nice that some people do. Yeah, I think tomorrow's the first full day. Isn't that the way it works? Yeah, so that's good.
And maybe that's what he was.
Distinction, yeah.
We are having a massive school strike upon us. We're just a day away from LA Unified shutting its doors for at least 3 days. Employees with LA Unified planning to strike. They want like a 30% raise for these employees. I think the district came to them. Chris Apple reported last week that it was a 5% hike. So that's quite the divide there. Look down on top of that. I heard a school board member for one of the people who work for the union say that it's like to make the children's lives better. And I'm thinking, well, how the hell does that, you getting more money as a child?
Well, they have to do something for the kids, so in a way, I understand why they say that. It is true, though, that this will bring everything to a halt, right? I mean, even, this is like having kids in school that you don't focus on necessarily, but it's a fact. They're there. You can go to work. You can learn. Right? So all of a sudden, to have everything shut down, you now have child care responsibilities to deal with. The ripple effects that you have to do is, how these kids get fed. So, yeah, I think this will be, they're making their point effectively, but as you say, in some cases, like the maintenance workers, probably do deserve a fund. I'm sure that the numbers are pretty low. But,
You live in LA and make $25,000 a year. You can't. But the smile on your face is the smile I feel in my heart, because you and I never have to deal with child care issues. It's one of our great joys.
well, it's going to sound like a lot. I have 40. No, I'm not. I have 4. And that does sound like a lot because I suppose it is. But
4 people is too much.
I have to tell you,
Over and under on cats is too.
and most people have too. And I always, I'm not going to tell you a story, but I'm just going to say I had 3 first, and then we got 4. That's when I got the 4. So we had 3, which you might consider over the limit also. But that was pretty manageable. They're all together. They're cool, and everybody, But the 4th is a stray and most adorable, most magnificent. The stray cat could run for president. She's so magnificent to her.
What is her name?
She's her name, C-A-S-H, because she's black. And Courtney named her because of Johnny Cash wearing black, I guess is the big name. Anyway, it's a cute name. But but having 4, to your point, it's almost like having a kid.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So a little bit, I relate to the people who choose.
Maybe the next stray you just let live its life out there and stay stray.
I'm telling you, the stray has changed our lives for the better.
I can tell. You just get 8 minutes on it. Donald Trump is bracing for, they say, the most legally perilous week since he left the White House, with the Manhattan DA likely to bring criminal charges against him over his role paying off the courts for Stormy Daniels. Of all the things he has done, this is going to be the thing that gets him.
It's crazy.
It arrested on Tuesday, tomorrow, and he called for his supporters to engage in protest. Kind of reminiscent of what led up to the January 6th Capitol attack, right? And the question is, does he have that mobilization power anymore that he had that before January 6th? People have been kind of lukewarm to his call for protest.
Yeah, I got the under on this one. I'm going to call it. I don't think that he's going to get quite the crowd that would show up on January 6th. There was also a ramp up to January 6th, for example, just if we're comparing it to the last riot that was animated by a lot of this rhetoric. There was a ramp up to it that was a lot longer than this. This is kind of a, almost like a pop riot if they do it. To pop up, so to speak.
There were a lot of things that led to the riots in LA, right? It wasn't just the Rodney King. So far, the New York Young Republican Club has announced plans for a protest in an undisclosed location in Manhattan today. I don't know if the New York Young Republican Club is.
There used to be clad in ties and blazers, the Young Republican Club. Now I think of the Young Republican Club, they've got the magnets and they're ready to get their flamethrowers.
It's crazy how much the party has changed. And it seems like it's just the loudest voices that you're hearing, and you're not hearing all of the consensus of the party.
That's a great point. I think I also feel as though the society changed so that the loudest voices get the most attention. It works in the worst screen. In the old days, people kind of, they discounted if you scream too much. Now you can scream all the time and people pay attention all the time.
Wild times. All right, coming up next, we will go to Washington to find out what the president wants when it comes to tougher policies on bank executives. We come back and have a conversation with you today, KFI 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we're just coming in. A manufacturer's recalling some baby formula. This is the Gerber Good Start 2 Pro powdered formula, and it's coming off the shelves out of an abundance of caution. Now, the recall applies to various size containers sold across the U.S. with a use-by date between July 4th and 16th of next year. The New York Jets are not in a rush to Aaron Rodgers' trade, according to ESPN. They're viewing the Jets are confident they can stay a little patient, and this will sort itself out. And today is the first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Officially, we say goodbye to winter at 2:24 Pacific time. South of the equator, though, it is the first day of fall. We'll get a look at your drive on the 101 in SoCal weather from KFI. Looks like we've got a gray day ahead with showers off and on today. After going to be in the 50s, then it looks like it's really the heaviest of the storm is going to start tonight and take it all the way through Wednesday. Snow levels by Wednesday could drop to 3,000 feet. We do have a high wind warning in effect for all of Southern California tomorrow. This report is brought to you by KidneyTheGame.com. Let's get a look at your drive with KFI on the sky in the 101.
101 freeway in Sherman Oaks, northbound, right before 405 cracks, blocking the two right lanes, dead traffic, slow back to Hawaii. So when the crash, all in the top point, you're right, Prince Out Boulevard crash on the right shoulder. It was very slow back, very heavy. If you kind of get to Elmont crash on the right shoulder, you can stand at Valley Boulevard, you're going to get the brake right around Baldwin. So you find the center, get you there, I'm Will Goldcraft.
This report is sponsored by WaterHeatersOnly.com. Cooking hot at 3 a.m. when your water heater is leaking? Water Heaters Only. That's it. Or visit WaterHeatersOnly.com for friendly local 5-star review service. If I know it's spicy, that's WaterHeatersOnly.com. WaterHeatersOnly.com.
Single printed marketing services help small business print big. Now get $50 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offering $4.15. Visit Staples.com/printbig for details. This is your side to try Staples. When your prints are perfect, guaranteed. Here's LegalStamp.com. Just paying $1 for your car, truck, sports car, exotic, or sold in the body. Let's get them bought. Right now is the time to get sellers.
Have you heard there's a new way where to do the joint pain or doesn't require drugs for oral surgery or downtime?
Kinetics is a rock with real, lasting, all natural relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine.
Take that clinics in Glendale, Orange, and Mission Toledo with more on the way.
Kinetics is the long leader in these amazing treatments. They get highly concentrated healing properties from your own body and put them in your achy joints. The goal is to restore and repair damaged joint tissue the natural way.
Taste and Conversations are raging about this all over the country. Pro athletes have been doing this for years, but now it's available to anyone.
Carry out the free like this summer. Living life the way you used to. Walking, running, sports.
If you've got pain from arthritis or injury, don't think steroids and surgery are your only option.
And learn more about these remarkable treatments using regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, now in Glendale, Orange, and Mission Viejo. Call for a free consultation. 213-997-PAIN, 213-997-PAIN.
Non-surgical joint pain relief has arrived. 213-997-PAIN. In this week's marketing report, Roger and I, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of Mastercard, talking on this. Investigating chronic and understanding the principles of measuring compensation. The parameters of your business we listen, and what the kind is on investment is paying for itself in quarters.
Available
on your iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audience's conversation, custom influences, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartRabbi.com for more. All right, let's talk about a very upsetting issue. Obviously, you're going to be paying homeowners insurance premium every month, like clockwork, because that is what we do.
Well, one day you get an incident like water damage, a broken pipe, toilet overflow, what a nightmare.
You gotta always claim with a homeowner's insurance company. You gotta find out what your insurance adjuster is going to pay. And when you realize it's going to be so little that you won't even be able to repair the damage might be lost.
Yeah, this is the time to call Abner Cat. Abner Cat is out for you. He will go to battle for you. He's a public insurance adjuster who is on your side.
I know that we've all been in this situation where you tried to negotiate with the insurance company yourself. It is not that simple. Abner Cat will negotiate on your behalf and make sure you are getting the best possible outcome, not that insurance company.
Abner and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for many years. This is all they do. They've got the experience and industry know-how you need on your side.
They also rated as 5 stars on Yelp and Google and Better Business Bureau. No one messes around with Abner Cat and his team.
Give Abner a call, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit abnercat.com.
ABNER-CAT.com. Or call them direct 818-917-5256.
Pray.com's meditative praise contact is the best way to bring God's spirit into your life. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fighting temptation, and Amen.
Instead, close your eyes, guilty of crimes against the people, stroke your title, manage to card bombs with sound,
Listen to meditative praise on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
and up your rest of his days.
All of the drivers on the buses in a state of conflict, but it's scaled down to tension. You imagine that? You're just a bus operator, and now you have to make sure the baby gets on the bus that was slashed at the local paper includes waxed out a mess. That's what a policeman is for. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Support you live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Mark Thompson hanging out with me today. Coming up next, we will get into the Putin meeting.
Want to know a great way to support this podcast? Take their short listener survey at surveymonkey.com/r, as in the letter R/airwave. Tell them about yourself, your interests, and what you like or don't like about the show. Your feedback will help them improve the show, better meet the needs of listeners like you, and find new advertisers that actually interest you. You can even win a $500 Amazon gift card as our thank you. Visit surveymonkey.com/r/airwave. That's surveymonkey.com/r/airwave.
Especially when it comes to bank executives being held accountable when mismanagement leads to failures. And this is basically number one, they want to make it easier to bar these bank executives from working in the industry or moving to everything from their perspective. Number two, they want the FDIC to be able to forcefully punish compensation. They increase that risk, so they fail in the case of mismanagement or excessive risk taking, and that risk
raised from crop sales as well. And number three, there was a lower the threshold for regulators to impose fines.
It's
You know,
discovered
one of the executives at that SVB, which kind of started this off, I guess it always depends on where you start the timeline. But anyway, one of those executives is actually pretty high profile during the 08 banking crisis. Isn't that right?
Right, and that's also why the White House has now highlighted reports that Silicon Valley Bank CEO Gregory Becker sold $3 million worth of shares in the fund in the days before the collapse, which is something that the federal government will be looking into likely. Experts and sources with ABC News, they say that there are investigations going on right now in the Justice Department into the SVB setup this time around. And they believe it might center around how Becker may have been included in this conversation about what he was doing in the days and weeks leading up to the collapse on Friday.
The White House said that the president believes, what you're saying, that the president believes that it's irresponsible for the failure of one bank and should not be able to just turn around and lead another. But how does the government have any power over that kind of a thing? To say that somebody is done forever in the banking industry. You're absolutely.
Yeah, that is difficult, right? But he's actually trying to propose these pieces of legislation to Congress. The Congress will have to vote to take a closer look at these things. Ultimately, if that were to happen, if these things that were to be involved in this moment, then that would be a part of these wider investigations, right? And so if that's declared, then Congress would be able to bar them from moving on to another bank, working with other places in the industry. But, you know, the big question here is whether or not that's going to pass, because the House controlled by Republicans, the Senate controlled by Democrats, and any legislation on infrastructure would have to come out major hurdles for this.
They may be sincere about this. I mean, I guess you feel as though they have to be sincere about it, but the same token, for just the reasons you mentioned, because you really can't get any new legislation on the books, it's likely a bunch of, and you could say cynically it's virtue signaling of some kind. I mean, you've been in debt with the bankers, you roll back these restrictions and regulations on banking, and now you're up in arms about this. On some level, I would just suggest it's a bit disingenuous.
Right, so the White House has said multiple times they're looking into this situation. They have said that they, at this point, have the depositors as a priority rather than the investors or the bank itself. And this is not a bailout. This is something that will not happen, and we've seen happen in 2008. And it's a very different situation that President Biden is handling this very differently. But, you know, as you said, the moderate Democrats and Republicans are standing by decisions they have to roll back regulations, and saying that, you know, this needs to be further investigated. What happened to SVB expenditures needs to be further investigated as to how they might move forward. What kind of regulations may actually led to all these things. And that's a conversation that will be very difficult to have, especially in this climate.
Talk about Princeton theater sometimes when it comes to, like Gavin Newsom or the state of California saying back in COVID that we could only play catch with a miniature American football. And why would that be less safe than a regulation football? And it's called a safety theater. The 9/11 rules of taking your shoes off and all the things to the airport. This just seems to be a little bit of, as you mentioned, like banking safety theater. But we will see. And Lynn, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.
Pretty wild.
I wonder what Cash is doing right now. Like when you're listening to M's and did your mind trail off a little bit and think to yourself, Cash up here.
Not really. I'm pretty locked into what M's saying usually when it comes to the game. I'm really too worried about what Cat's doing. I'm guessing it's a good guess typically with Cats during the day they're sleeping.
Yeah.
They lost some pretty good naps.
You're pretty clever with them right now.
Yeah, sure, you're right. But again, I don't really.
Could have caught him out.
This is good that we don't have kids because this is the kind of. I think I have kids that be preoccupied.
You have cameras in your home?
Yes.
Oh, so you can pull it up right now.
Absolutely.
You can watch the Cash up.
That's a pathetic thing.
Are you watching it right now over there?
No. I just told you, it doesn't really, I'm not focused on it. But I would say it's pathetic that when I'm on vacation with Courtney, I will spend the full 10 minutes calling up the cameras to make sure the cats are okay, and I'll go back over the timeline and make sure that, you know.
But you have somebody that comes in and takes care of it.
Yeah, but it's hard to find a good cat sitter, so if there any out there.
What happens when you realize they're a bad cat sitter?
I've never really had bad cat sitter. It's just hard to find people who who can do it more than once a day. Like I would check in a couple of times a day with the cats. You know.
How many times ideally would you like them? Just check in.
I like somebody to live there. Somebody to their lives. I like cats. Thank you very much.
Cat lovers to me are just really good people.
Oh, thank you.
Take the real special, big-hearted person to open up those evil little things.
I knew that there was something else coming here. Well done.
All right, China and Russia are putting on their own theater display today. They call each other dear friends, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin.
The enemy of my enemy, right? Is my friend. Let me get some of
I
that.
was searching for that line last week when we were talking about this. All right, Gary and Shannon will continue Mark Thompson in today and Jennifer's afternoon.
A clip from Connecticut, including a 16-year-old driver, has been killed in a fiery crash in New York. Only a 9-year-old survived. Authorities in Scarsdale say the kids were on a parkway early yesterday when a car crashed into a tree and caught fire. The youngest person killed was 8. The oldest was 17. A man blown up the 6th Street Bridge near downtown LA and straight into the LA River. Fire crews were sent just before 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday to fish the guy out. Fire officials say the man reportedly was seen climbing the bridge before going into about 2 feet of water. Due to severe wet winter conditions in the Southland, the river's water current sent the man nearly a mile downstream, eventually passing under the Paramount Freeway. The man was able to fight his way out of the flow right before he got to the Olympic Bridge. The man waited on the bank until fire crews could arrive to assess and treat him. He was taken to a trauma center. Andrew Caravella, KFI News. A fight between 2 women has led to a shooting in Moreno Valley. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says the women were in a shopping center parking lot yesterday when a third woman started shooting. No one was hit. Everybody took off. The alleged shooter was stopped and arrested a short time later. Top Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he does not think people should protest if former President Trump is arrested on charges from the Manhattan DA's office. President Trump posted on social media over the weekend predicting he would be arrested this week and calling on supporters to protest. Aaron Kaczynski says the case in New York centers on money paid to porn actress Stormy Daniels, as told by Trump's lawyer Michael Cohen.
Cohen was testified before the grand jury. They said the true purpose of the hot payment was to protect the 2016 campaign, so the $150,000 amounted to an illegal campaign contribution by Trump himself.
The DA and Manhattan have not commented on possible indictments, except to say his office will not be intimidated by Trump's call to protest. Lawmakers in France have filed 2 no-confidence motions against the country's president for using constitutional powers to force through a bill that would raise the retirement age from 62 to 64. ABC's Inez de la Tierra says over the weekend, people protesting the bill lit fires across the country. Plastic cops. A large number of French gas stations are also partially or completely out of fuel. Protesters continue to block fuel deliveries. France's Senate approved the retirement plan last week. And an Israeli minister says there is no such thing as a Palestinian people. An Israeli and Palestinian delegation met in Egypt yesterday, pledging to take steps to lower tensions in the region. But in France, Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich says there's no Palestinian history, nation, or language. The comments come as Israel's far-right government said it was pushing a key part of its overhaul before the parliament letter from KFI. Off and on showers today, heavy rain is going to start later tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. That heavy rain is going to keep coming. Tomorrow we have a high wind advisory for all of Southern California until 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And by Wednesday, our snow levels could be as low as 3,000 feet. For the rest of us, those temperatures for the next few days should just be in the low to mid-50s. 52 right now in Rancho Santa Margarita, 55 in Garden Grove. Let's get a look at your drive on the 91.
Federal Freeway in Cerritos says you head eastbound there at Norwalk Boulevard. Crash blocks the right lane here. We'll hit the brakes right around 605. In Sherman Oaks, we still got to wrap around the 101 northbound before the 405. It's an accident. Blocking the 2 right lanes with slowing starting at Laurel King. Hawthorne crashed there on the 105 eastbound at Crenshaw on the right shoulder. Stop and go from Prairie. And going into Elmont, the 10 freeway eastbound at Valley Boulevard down is on the right shoulder as well. KFI in the Styles gets you there faster. A little Bullswiper. Diversifying your portfolio with an alternative investment that isn't tied to the stock or housing markets, that's golden. Legacy Precious Metals has a revolutionary new online platform that allows you to invest in real gold and silver online. That's right. Few easy steps. You can open an account, select your metals of choice, and choose to have them stored in the vault or shipped to your door. You'll have access to a dashboard where you can track your portfolio growth in real time, anytime, and see transparent pricing on all of your money. Gold hedges against inflation and against the volatile stock market. A truly diversified portfolio doesn't just have stocks and bonds, but different asset classes. Legacy Precious Metals' new platform allows you to make investments in gold and silver no matter how small or large with just a few clicks. It's free to sign up. Create your account online at buylegacygold.com, buylegacygold.com, or talk to Legacy Precious Metals directly by calling 866-691-2173. At Jacoby Myers, our 5-star reviews attest to our commitment to excellence and a success in delivering life-changing results for our clients. 50-plus years of experience, $1 billion in settlements, and voted number 1 for 4 years in a row. Our team's expertise is unmatched. Call Jacoby Myers. Justice for you since 1972. Americans pay about $5 billion a year to control termites and repair the damage. More than floods, earthquakes, hurricanes combined. Call Pacific Coast Termite at 800 Pacific for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply. No tanking ever. Call 800 Pacific. 800 Pacific. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com. Call 800 Pacific. Pacific Coast Termite. Termite. Friendly. Wave.
I'm calling you live indoors for your home. Marvin Miller is a trusted partner from the beginning to the end of every project, and can help you find the right Marvin Miller indoors for your space. Make space for all the things, the big things, and what you never expected. Make space for connection and celebration, for personality and possibility. Make space for beauty, for better living, and quality that endures. Make space for life. When you find a place for Marvin Windows and Doors in your home, you can make space for what matters. Marvin Doors is here to help with your Marvin Window and Door project. They make it easy to find quality Marvin Windows and Doors that you need. Visit replacementmedeasy.com today to set up your free consultation. That's replacementmedeasy.com.
You only have to wait till 14th to lock in the best rates on solar. Do it today at sunlight.com. KFRA and 640. More stimulating talk.
Gary and Jen, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Mark Thompson hanging out with me today while Gary is away. We'll be back later on in the week. Coming up next, we will dig into this 85-year Harvard study. Did you go to Harvard? I forget, you went somewhere for free.
On a tour, I barely have the grades to get on a tour.
You went somewhere prestigious.
Well, to drag it around, I went to Colgate University, which is a small school up there, and I attended Oxford big time.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
So we will dig into this study that finds I get excited because I went to Chico State, all right? It's not often that I have friends that are fancy hanging out with me.
Look, I was drunk most of the time.
But this study dug into what job tends to be the most unhappy job. And there's something that unhappy jobs have in common, so we'll get into that. Did you see the latest Alex Murdaugh news?
Oh.
Alex Murdaugh, of course, found guilty, convicted of killing his younger son and his wife. His surviving son, Buster, today is denying the vicious rumors, in his words, that he was involved in the death of a gay former classmate he was linked to romantically. This was the kid that turned up dead on the side of the road. They said at the time, in 2015, that he had been hit by a car. Well, the family now is exhuming his body. They believe that the body pointed to signs that maybe he was killed from the Murdoch home.
They can pick up signs of that by exhuming the body now? That's wild.
Yeah.
They think that there are physical signs of the body being moved now
Right.
when we exhume the body.
Well, remember, too, this was a family that was so entrenched in the legal community, both civil and criminal, that they made things go away left and right.
That's certainly true.
You know, the girl who was killed in the boat crash, that went away. The housekeeper that died in the fall of the house, that went away. They knew so many people in law enforcement all the way up to the bench that this family got away with murder for a decade. So that'll be interesting. We'll get into that coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. But to Russia, where we go, where Chinese President Xi Jinping is embarking on his first trip to Russia since the country invaded Ukraine last year. Putin and Xi Jinping will sit down. They describe themselves at times as best friends.
Oh. Yeah, that's, well, I'm sure they do that WhatsApp thing that MBS and Kushner used to do, you know, when they were really pals. This feels a little as I was saying of the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. I mean, it's true that the China-U.S. relations, right, have become frostier. I mean, that's a polite way to put it. So, in a sense, Moscow and Beijing are now closer, I suspect, as a result. So it's against that backdrop that this is all happening.
I feel like I lived this plot through when I was in high school.
Right.
You know, and two girls decide to have a sleepover because I picked one of them off in some way, and it's like, now we are best friends, and you're not invited. You know, it's almost this kind of friendship theater thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is a part of this thing played out just as you say for the theatrics, for the world, you know. But this is again, against the backdrop also of what's going on in Ukraine. Let's not forget that this is a much more complicated situation than Putin clearly thought it would be originally, right? When the Ukraine invasion happened, even we in the West thought this is being based on media reports and based on reports from the field and from intelligence officers, it would be a walkover, you know, that Russia would be able to have their way with Ukraine, and it's been anything but. So,
yeah, and I think it's an embarrassing look for Russia.
right.
When you think about the strength of Ukraine up against something like Russia, you would think that it would be no problem. But the other problem with Russia is their soldiers don't want to fight, and they don't understand why they're fighting either. They say that Putin's building an anti-Western world. He's looking for allies, trying to make Russia part of a common fortress with China as well as India, parts of Latin America and Africa. An anti-Western world. And of course, the major country that they would be leaning on for this is China.
Look, we're China's best customer. China doesn't want to, from an economic standpoint, things to get too frosty with us. But by the same token, as I say, I think there probably is an alignment of goals between Russia and China. China has to probably be more careful than Russia does. Putin has isolated himself. You know, now he's a wanted man. You know, having been, is it at the Hague? He was indicted essentially.
International Criminal Council, something of that nature. Like they don't even recognize the jurisdiction there.
Right. And we're not part of that either, by the way. You know, when it all first happened, we carved ourselves out of that because we didn't want to be brought in on any kind of war crime charges, etc. But more to the point, in an isolated environment, it would seem to me that Putin finds himself in, which he might actually be something of a small lifeboat, even if it is just theatrics, as you say, China.
I feel like we just don't know enough about Xi Jinping to really know what his long game is. I mean, we have claimed that China is arming Russia with lethal aid, facilitating this military victory in Ukraine, but Beijing denies it. So, if China's secret, I kind of feel like we have been helping out Ukraine more than we advertise, and China's been helping out Russia more than it advertises, just to go back to the point of the economic agreement between us and China.
And China is, remember, they're just getting off that deal they brokered in the Middle East. He could do this and try this on for size. He could go and try to concoct some kind of face-saving compromise for Putin to get out of this thing. But now with China involved, I mean, that would be a huge, huge get. Now, that may be a bridge too far right now, but it's possible that instead of just saying, yeah, you know, I'm all about Team Black, that the reality is he may try to do something to try to essentially pave the way for Russia to get out of Ukraine or out of the situation being a hot war the way it is now.
Yeah, I just don't see Vladimir Putin acquiescing to that just because he has testicle problems.
No, he has too much in it. You're right. Yeah.
Thank you for not batting that with the testicle problems. I appreciate that.
I'm expecting so much work. Yeah, you even move the meter.
Coming up next, this 85-year Harvard study about this type of job would be the unhappiest. Also, wild weekend. I found myself screaming at the television on Friday over a school I didn't even know existed.
That is March Madness in a nutshell.
Furthermore, did you hear that call at the end of that game?
Arkansas game?
The SBU game?
Oh, yeah.
SBU, believe it? I'm like, dude, they were up at that. If you had a solid hour to come up with the 16 seed to the 1 seed, and that's what you landed on?
That was loaded. You're right. That was a back pocket.
Oh, my goodness. Gary and Shannon will continue. Mark Thompson in today, and Jennifer stepping in. The West Coast and South are both in for some winter weather this week. California is expected to get hit by our 12th atmospheric river, producing heavy rain and snow. Former President Trump's accusing President Biden of trying to influence the Manhattan DA's office in the Stormy Daniels hush money payment case. And rapper Snoop Dogg is launching a new coffee line. The hip-hop entrepreneur has put out a press release saying he partnered with an Indonesian coffee maker to put out a new coffee line he calls a premium lifestyle coffee brand created for and inspired by the next generation of innovators. SoCal weather from KFI. Showers today, heavy rain starting tonight. Tomorrow we've got a high wind watch along with those heavy showers. The showers are lasting into Wednesday with snow levels dropping to as low as 3,000 feet. Temperatures for the rest of us just in the low mid-50s. This report is brought to you by the Catalina, that is, Island Company. Let's check your job this time on the 91.
Eastbound side of Norwalk Boulevard is a massive right lane shut down. That's me. As you put your drive on the eastbound 91, looks like you're seeing not too bad of a drive actually as you're making your way beyond the 605 and toward Norwalk Boulevard where it is going to be busy for the eastbound on the 91. Getting out of the La Palma and Branch Park area, there's one store and Toledo, so it'll be still going for you all the way toward the 57 and beyond the 55. Westbound 91, that's still going for your drive right now. As you come away from about the Big Green River coming out of the Big Bay, continuing past the 241 toll road, and seeing those delays as you make your way all the way back toward the 5. KFI and the Skynovsky Star Faster. I'm Nick calling you. This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee what's fit. Blindster.com.
Hey, it's Jennifer. Join us this March to Make March Matter for Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Make March Matter makes amazing things happen for sick kids. It's a month-long event that takes place right in your neighborhood. So every time you shop, dine, or attend an event at a participating partner, they'll donate funds to support Children's Hospital Los Angeles. It feels so good to give, and saving lives is everyone's business. For more information, visit MakeMarchMatter.org. That's MakeMarchMatter.org.
Reach the mainland, check the ferry, and sail to Catalina Island where adventure awaits you. Whether it's an exhilarating flight on the zipline eco tour, the chance to spot a bison on the bison expedition, or cocktails at the Wisconsin Beach Club, there's something for everyone. Starting today, visit CatalinaIsland.com.
This week's market is important. Patricia Fayoletta, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct to Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on the difficult task of building and retaining consumer trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent. The best thing for us to do is to build a relationship with our consumers, and if those consumers have a relationship with the DJs that are on air, then we want to build on that. House of the Dragon, which was one of our most successful, if not the most successful campaign we've ever done for a show, audio is a core part of that.
is the #1 audio company. iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
Looking to invest in real estate as a way to diversify, hedge against inflation, and receive consistent quarterly cash distribution? With First National Realty Partners, you'll get access to commercial real estate investments that are reserved only for elite private institutions. You'll enjoy all the benefits of fully passive real estate ownership, like tax write-offs, limited liability structures, quarterly cash distributions, and the potential for upside exit. First National Realty Partners has thousands of investors who collect rent from national brand tenants like Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, Publix, and many more. Call 888-301-9010. That's 888-301-9010. Or go to FNRCradio.com. That's FNRCRADIO.com. Choose your fully passive commercial real estate investment deal. Securities are only available from verified accredited investors. Investments are subject to risk, including loss of principal. Cash distributions are not guaranteed. Any representations made about investments will reflect FNRC's strategy and may or may not be realized. Visit FNRCradio.com.
Hey, all, it's Team Shark. Are you running out of hot water? Water Heaters Only has been specializing in the repair and replacement of water heaters since 1968. That's over 54 years as the original water heater specialist. So visit waterheatersonly.com for zero-interest financing. Terms and conditions apply. Request quick service or call to speak with a live operator 24 hours a day. Don't wait. Don't overpay. Visit waterheatersonly.com today. That's waterheatersonly.com.
Join us to celebrate the songs and artists you've loved over the past year.
At our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Hosted by Lenny Kravitz.
With individual award recipients Taylor Swift,
And performances by iHeart Award recipients Coldplay, Kelly Clarkson, Ella Morgan, Keith Urban, Pat Benatar, Emil Giraldo, Lano, Money Long, Cody Johnson, and more.
watch on Fox, and listen on iHeartRadio.
Next Monday night at 8 p.m.
I like when TV anchors who are earning $600,000 a year say stuff like this.
Could go up by $8 a month. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I want to eat there. I got no time money. I don't have any of my wife to do. $700,000 a year.
The Tim Conway Jr. Show.
$8, that's a lot. A ton of money.
5, 4 to 7 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Radio app. Some stories we are keeping our eyes on for you today. Police in New York City making security preparations ahead of a possible arrest of former President Trump. He posted on his Truth Social platform over the weekend that he expects to be arrested tomorrow. There's been no confirmation of that claim from the Manhattan DA's office. They're not going to arrest him tomorrow, so they don't want to make it look like he had an
Inside track.
track there.
It's going to be the best arrest ever.
The biggest, the best. Big water.
There's never been anything like this.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is accusing the DA of ignoring crimes that are happening under his watch and going after something that happened years ago, calling the investigation political in nature. Found that to be kind of odd for Ron DeSantis to come out with something that puts him in the former president's corner. These two have kind of been at each other's throats in recent appearances. Of course, Trump is being investigated for paying off adult film actress Stormy Daniels back in 2016 and then lying about it on financial paperwork.
Yeah, you got when you pay them off, you just got to own it. You know, don't lie about it on the paperwork.
What have you done then?
That's what I took away from this. That in the future, if I pay off the,
The lady of the screen.
yes, they just don't lie about it.
Maybe the first day of spring, but it still feels like winter out there, Mark Thompson.
Yeah, I guess it's a major storm system that's going to move in. Late tonight there'll be a heavier rain. Will be late tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
It's the 12th atmospheric river.
Yeah.
Too many rivers.
Yeah, it's way too many atmospheric rivers. Yeah.
Where do you come down on the over dramatic names of storms.
Yeah.
Like atmospheric river for rain, a bomb cyclone,
Right.
all of that fear-mongering weather-wise.
Well, you're right to point this out. The thing about atmospheric river is it's a rebranding of something that has been talked about forever. No, it's not, and that's the problem. It's being every time there's rain, people go, "Well, it's another atmospheric river." No, it's not.
Okay.
The atmospheric river refers to that pineapple. We used to call it the pineapple connection or pineapple express. You get the southwesterly flow that's out toward Hawaii, and that's a much different thing than just a normal weather system that goes through. So these atmospheric rivers, if you want to call them that, I kind of like the rebranding because it does sort of speak to what it is, which is this sort of river of moisture. But what I don't like is kind of what's happened, which is, oh, it's another atmospheric river. It will start to late. No, this is just a rain system that's moving through. Now, this one, I guess, is having subtropical moisture, so this is legit an atmospheric river that's moving in. But you're right, Shannon. It's being, everything has to be amped up these days to get social media clicks. So it's a bomb cyclone, it's an atmospheric river. You have to name these storms. This was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The Weather Channel names these winter storms. You know, it's Winter Storm Ralph is moving into New Hampshire tonight. It's absurd.
Nothing is ever going to get the attention that a dancing weatherman got.
Thank you, Shannon.
That's where I come down.
Yes. They should have closed the whole thing down when I got off the
That's right.
March 11th.
That's right. You want attention, you shake that bottom.
Yes. Anyway, this rain is associated with atmospheric river and it'll move in, I think, in a big way. I'm just looking at reports. It isn't late tonight. Isn't that when your rain starts?
What happened to, why is Pineapple Express discarded?
I don't know. I kind of like it. I thought also it was kind of cute and did represent, and also you weren't going to get what's happening now, which is you wouldn't have it confused with every rain event being a Pineapple Express. Yeah. Now it is every rain event's an amateur. So I like the rebranding, but I think there are issues. I think you're right to point them out.
There is an 85-year study from Harvard researchers. I was wondering, were the first researchers still on this? Are they in the home still doing the research? What's going on?
Having a research over to you.
One of the longest running studies on happiness. Robert Waldinger, MD, professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, says that the loneliest jobs are the unhappiest. That jobs that require little human interaction and don't offer opportunities to build meaningful relationships with coworkers tend to have the most miserable employees. Since 1938, Harvard researchers have gathered health records for more than about 700 participants from all over the world, asked them detailed questions about their lives every 2 years. And they concluded that the secret to living a happier, healthier, and longer life is not money, professional success, exercise, or a healthy diet.
Right?
But that positive relationships are what keeps people happy throughout their lives. And Carrie and I spent time on this when it comes to work from home, and we're proponents of working at work. But that there are a lot of people who say working from home works for them. They love it. And I kind of kept going back to this, you think you love it, but how good is it for you to be isolated like that and not have this face-to-face working relationship?
You're so right. Well, we're social animals. And so this study, in a way, reinforces that. Look, I do my YouTube show. I do a YouTube show now, and I do it from my house. So I don't have to leave the house for days at a time because I do everything, and all the information now comes in there, and I can do the show from the house. But when I come into KO5, I find it's an interesting thing. I don't focus on it, but I notice, wow, dude, it's cool how there are people here, and you can talk to them. And it's not just Courtney, and it's not just the past. You've got an actual dynamic of socialization, frankly, and that's what this study is saying. You need that. Generally, you're happier when you get those engagements with other people, regardless of even if they're superficial engagements.
And it's funny how we were just talking about this last week too, about why it feels so good when somebody cancels plans. And like, I can stay home, by myself, but that's not good for you. You think it's what you want, but it's not really the best thing for you.
No, it's true. And so what the study is saying is that these days there are these emerging economies, robust economies in the tech sector, and those are generally, those industries, lonelier. Those are generally lacking a lot of interpersonal connection. That's what the study is pointing to, so that even as the study says the socialization is good for your health, it'll make you happier, it's also saying, but in a huge part of the American economy and the world economy, there's more isolation than ever before.
I think something goes into it too when it comes to liking who you work with. The 2022 report from Gallup shows people with a best friend at work are more productive and engaged with their work than those who don't. I mean, what if you're working at a bunch of assholes?
That's true.
That would make you happy.
If you're being bullied at work, that does happen.
And going,
Yeah.
there you have it. Don't be lonely. Get out there, socialize.
It's nice that they wrapped up that 85-year Harvard study, though.
What took so long?
Yeah.
You don't have a cure for cancer because they've spent 85 years at Harvard talking about happiness? And we could have told you that?
Yeah. Well,
why don't they come to us first?
yeah. Well, they got to get research money somewhere. So, all the cancer research money was taken.
All right, coming up next, scary times for this meteorologist who collapsed live on the air. It's always so weird when something happens to a television personality live, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, stuff like this, too.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about it in her updated condition when we come back to Gary in a minute.
Springtime. Birds are chirping. The sun's are shining. And you are back in an office building with windows that don't open. So, KOST-HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the Air Radio app.
They take some time. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Financial help could take a while for the people in the San Bernardino Mountains trying to recover from the storm. Property owners who have damage first have to go through their insurance companies. The county's emergency operations director says government helps supplement insurance coverage, but it doesn't replace it. Now, so far, more than 626 homes and other buildings have been damaged or destroyed in the storm, and the department is still weeks away from completing its damage assessment. As Shannon and Mark were talking about, we are into our 12th atmospheric river, and I'll get you the forecast on what to expect for the next couple of days in just a second. Governor Newsom's working to have voters decide if they want to expand mental health services and treatment beds throughout the state. KFI's Blake Trolley reports live the governor has rolled out a multi-billion-dollar bond measure.
The measure would raise between $3 billion to $5 billion in a general obligation bond. The governor says that money would go towards creating at least 6,000 mental health treatment beds across the state. Each and every year was regionally identified, so we staff these in a regional way. Newsom's proposal would also direct at least $1 billion from the existing Mental Health Services Act to house people with mental health and substance abuse issues. Housing would also be created for veterans. The ballot measure would go before voters in 2024 if approved by the legislature. Reporting live, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
California is now in the prescription drug business. Governor Newsom announced $50 million in a contract over the weekend to produce insulin under the state's own label.
This is a big deal.
Under the big deal, a 10-milliliter vial of insulin would cost $30. That's instead of the usual $300.
But this is a game changer. This fundamentally lowers the cost. Period. Full stop.
Newsom says the state's also looking to produce its own brand of naloxone, which is used to counter an opioid overdose. The insulin deal still needs to be approved by the FDA. The LA School District says it's prepared for school closures as tens of thousands of workers go ahead with plans for a 3-day strike. The union says the walkout tomorrow through Thursday will be to protest the district's unfair practices. School Superintendent Alberto Carvalho says the district has been willing to negotiate.
Right now, 15% recurring increase to compensation for that employee group, in addition to 10% cash in hand.
The union has demanded a 30% pay raise, among other things. Police in LA say a man crashed into 2 cars in South LA, leaving one person in critical condition was wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. The fire department has said the crash last night happened at the end of a police chase. Cops say they've been looking for the man before the crash. One person had to be freed from the wreckage by firefighters using hydraulic tools. At least 2 other people have minor injuries. An elementary school in Long Beach will remain closed for a few more days because of a norovirus outbreak. School district officials announced the outbreak at Carver Elementary last week. Norovirus is highly contagious. It causes vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, abdominal pain. City officials said more than 120 students and 10 staff members may have been affected. The school is expected to stay closed until Wednesday. A man and a 16-year-old boy have been fatally shot while at a pool at an apartment complex in Newhall. LA County Sheriff's investigators say a witness reported seeing the man reach over the pool fence late Saturday morning and fire shots before running toward the apartment complex parking lot. A few minutes later, deputies stopped a white car matching what witnesses described and detained two young men. And Russia's President Putin has visited the occupied port city of Mariupol in his first trip to the territory in Ukraine that Moscow illegally annexed. ABC's Ian Handel says Putin's surprise visit over the weekend comes a year after the city was captured in a campaign of death, destruction, and displacement.
And on Saturday, Putin traveling to occupied Crimea, trying to show it's business as usual despite the arrest warrant.
The International Criminal Court issued a warrant for Putin's arrest Friday for war crimes. It says Putin is allegedly responsible for accepting children from Ukraine and sending them to Russia. Your KFI Financial Update is sponsored by Jacoby and Myers. The Dow is up 370, S&P is up 30, NASDAQ is up 10, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.85. Don't wait. Maximize your compensation after an accident. Call Jacoby and Myers now. Justice for you since 1972. SoCal weather from KFI. We've got showers off and on today, and then our heavy rain is going to start tonight, lasting into Wednesday. Tomorrow, in addition to the heavy rain, we have high wind advisory for all of Southern California. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the low to mid 50s. We're going to see our snow levels today at 5,000 feet, but by Wednesday, those should drop to about 3,000 feet. So areas like the San Bernardino Mountains are expecting up to 3 feet of snow from this 12th atmospheric river. It's 55 in Dana Point, 54 in Fullerton, Glendale, and in Santa Monica. Let's get a look at your drive better news through Sherman Oaks.
Along the northbound side of 101 before the 405, that's another direction. It's been clear so much. Still seeing a busy one for you on the northbound 101 as you come out of the Sherman Village and Studio City adjacent area. From before Fullerton, the southbound side of the 405, rather 101 off the 405, getting better for you as well. Very nice Boulevard 101 southbound as you move way into the corner path. Short Farm is still going to be a little bit busy for you, but delays are definitely lightening up. And then further southbound on the 101 actually looks pretty good. We'll see some delays start right around Beck White, continuing to the 110. Northbound 101 out of downtown is still going through right now from 4th Line from the 10 to San Bernardino Freeway and the 110 as you continue to out Vermont Avenue. Then that data something from the downtown to 50 yourself on Keyword is KFI Traffic 5 southbound as you head to the Bunny Park area from before the 91 pass in Anaheim and Disneyland. It'll be busy for you to Rock Harbor Boulevard, plenty of relief and heading in for you 5 southbound out of the orange tracks to the 5 instead of pointing to split as you head toward the 55 northbound 75. Still seeing a pretty rough go for you through Irvine from before Culver as you make way back towards the crust. Westbound side of the 91 coming out of the same place for you to York Window and Canopy Hill. That'll be busy for you from before the 241 tour as you make way toward the 5. KFI and the Sky Hopes get there faster. I'm Nick Collier.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Menard, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring sonic branding and sonic initiatives across the board. The principles of measurement of the same, like the parameters that you measure on this. We measure, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself. In schools, we have been partnered with iPad across multiple platforms, both for brand enhancement as well as for performance. I think it's a example of the message and the recall of the brand are much higher. Also, it has been very beneficial for us to integrate some of our campaigns into the native content of iHeart because they have very nice partnership and they continue to be very strong in the future.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong. I eat yogurt, but I don't need to take a probiotic. Probiotics? They don't really work. It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut team. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at AlignProbiotics.com.
Whether you're just starting your watch collection or expanding it, check out Bob's Watches for one of the largest and finest selection of pre-owned modern and vintage luxury watches. Rolex, Omega, Cartier, Tudor, buy, sell, or trade. You can count on their trust, honesty,
It's always fun when I get my hair up, you know? It's like, is it ricin? Is it anthrax? Let's roll the dice and just open it.
It's old school, man. Here comes the album.
Attention, Shannon Farron, KFI Radio. It's an essay from Elizabeth Warren, so
That's cool.
speaking of that.
It's in all caps. That's usually the first problem. That's like that's a red flag typically.
Yeah, all caps.
Yeah.
Open all caps.
I just had to, if somebody writes in to me and I had Robin Bertolucci and I don't know who else is CC'd on it, the guy, everything's in caps, and I finally had enough. This is after months. You'd think I would have, de-X'd him a long time ago. But I finally today, and he's listening, and just telling you've been blocked now. So,
Wow, what was the content?
it was, I hate this about it. Every show he would break down. I hate this about the show. I hate that about the show. About shows I'm not even on.
Right.
Okay, and then,
Why is he involved in it?
well, no, and then he comes after me. Oh, because I am on Conway, and I come in occasionally. And so he'll come after me too. So, I let it go for months, and then.
Did you say hurtful things or just?
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, always. But, yeah, I mean, clearly the guy's
Well,
stuff off the
I
curb.
think you're great.
Well, thank you very much. If you put it in an email with temps.
I will. I'll send one to Robin right now. The meteorologist Alyssa Carlson is assuring viewers she is feeling okay after she fainted on live television. Here is what it sounded like. David, do you have that? The meteorologist? Anyway.
It sounded like somebody hitting the desk as they tried. Thank you.
So, just to paint the picture, the two anchors are throwing to her for her to do her weather report, and she kind of leans over the desk and then slinks down and kind of falls on the floor. And it is really scary. It's a scary moment. I mean, I'm remembering Serene Branson when she had her aneurysm on the air. I mean, it's terrifying to see something happen to these women. It's irrelevant that they're beautiful young people, but it's just
No, you're right.
you're watching from home, and you don't know if she died or if she's okay or what it is. We got the audio now.
Right now, CBS Los Angeles. I'm Rachel Kemp, and I'm Shavina in for Shiva, who is ready for some sunshine. I know I am. One showed up in the second next weather at the office, Alyssa Carlson. She joins us live in the studio. Alyssa, it really is the calm before the storm. No. Oh. We're going to go ahead and go to break right now.
So one of the things that made
It's hard to get away from things like, I'm ready for some sunshine.
Yeah.
It's the calm before the storm.
that's what exactly what I was about to say. It's the upbeat nature. It's like the super over the top happy. That is what sets up this as being even more intense.
Totally. The juxtaposition between the super sunshine and the passing out on Navy Day.
Right, exactly.
Now, she posted, and KCAL News posted an update after this incident that KCAL News meteorologist Alyssa Carlson was left her weather forecast this morning when she fainted. Our team jumped in to help and comfort her while waiting for medical help to arrive. She thanks fans for their thoughts and prayers. She's resting, recovering. She's going to be all right. Apparently, she had health problems in the past. She had another incident on the air in 2014. Because of that heart issue from 2014 did not cause her most recent health scare.
This is a different heart issue, in other words.
Or she just fainted.
No?
I used to faint when I get my blood drawn. I get all worked up. I'm scared of the needle or something, and then it happens, and your blood sugar drops or whatever, the adrenaline drops.
Wow.
But maybe she just fainted.
Well, she has indicated she's appreciative for all the
thoughts and prayers.
It's been a while. I think it maybe it's got a stink on it now. You're right.
The range for thoughts and prayers is wild.
It's true. That's true. That's true.
I saw this article in the LA Times over the weekend, and I thought, what the hell is this? This is about disabled people killed by their family members. They have a disability day of mourning every March. I had no idea this was as prevalent as it is. Terrifying, I'll tell you that when we come back. Gary and Shannon and Mark Thompson in today, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And Jennifer's got the news. Police in New York City are making security preparations ahead of a possible arrest of former President Trump. He posted on Truth Social over the weekend. He expects to be arrested tomorrow, but there has been no confirmation of that from the Manhattan DA's office. The body of a 19-year-old found dead in the middle of a road in South Carolina 8 years into the death came up while looking into the murders of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh, the wife and son of once prominent, now disbarred attorney Alex Murdaugh. And it looks like Shazam! Fury of the Gods did not exactly make movie magic at the box office in North America this weekend. It's a sequel to the 2019 superhero film. The first film made $53 million. This one just made $30 million in its opening weekend. Here's how weather from KFI is rain today, with highs in the low to mid 50s, heavy rain tomorrow, wind advisory tomorrow for Southern California, and the snow level by Wednesday should drop to as low as 3,000 feet. Let's get a look at that drive on the 210.
Mystery is members of the Claremont area are going to be happening on the westbound side past baseline. You got to recognize the 2 when you set down. That's having already slow going drive through on the 210 westbound coming out of Paloma and Rex to Columbia. I'm going to start back as Carnelian. Westbound 10 is also the 210 westbound. Now, it's not that much better for you driving right now. In fact, that's actually going to be easier. So, maybe stick with the 210 because 10 westbound is going to be a rough go for you to come out of Montana area to Northwest and Fort Cherry as you continue through area up with Montclair, Fort Claremont, and up to the Hill. KFI in the final skip their faster on Nick Holiday.
This report is sponsored by Vanguard University in Orange County. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or nursing degree in the classroom or online at Vanguard University. Ranked as a top 10 university in the West by U.S. News and World Report for 12 consecutive years. At Vanguard, your story matters. Visit vanguard.edu to learn more.
Hey, it's Steve Sharp. Clean and healthy water is essential for living your best life. Life Source is the whole house water system that will change that life. Life Source gives you filtered and delicious water from every tap, filtering out the bad, keeping the good, no maintenance needed. And right now, new customers can get a free Apple-Pure antibacterial filter with qualifying purchase. That's an $825 value. So call Life Source today at 800-803-2696 or go to lifesourcewater.com. Life Source, taste and feel the difference. When you want the best deal on the best meal, choose Wendy's 2 for $6. Pick from Dave's Tingle, spicy chicken sandwich, 10-piece crispy nuts, or a medium strawberry lemonade. Here, any two for just $6. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6. I'm Mark Coach, the center of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I told you about how your nose is the body's care vehicle. This Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergies, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what is the best thing I bought? I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for a week. I bought Navage and it's amazing. For this one, I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I do so much better. Unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage. The all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Pray.com's meditative prayer podcast is the best way to send God's perfect peace into your life. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and relax.
As you close your eyes, ask God to help you approach your life. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to meditative prayer on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I should just focus it right again on the God. I'm keeping the bad people when they belong in a prison. Put people away in prison for long sentences. See what happens. What are we going to lose here? John and Ken. You know it's
better because it's this show.
Yeah.
Victor came in and was talking about Milk Manor because we got on the Bachelor tangent.
I never heard of Milk Manor.
And you got it. Like,
Well, I found a new favorite show. The idea is that as I understand it, the older women are there and they like younger guys. And so they're there with the younger guys who they bring in. And the other wrinkle on this is that the younger guys who are hooking up with the milks are related to them.
it's all their sons.
Right. So it's
They're swapping sons.
it is a,
They're all at 22.
how is,
Women are in their 50s.
how is this not the most popular show on television?
Because it makes you physically unwell.
Exactly.
I watched one episode and I felt sick to my stomach. Like I said, yeah, I mean, if this was my thing, if this is what I was into, if I'm in my 50s and I'm into 20-year-olds,
Sure.
I wrote problem.
So good on them.
So we will be giving you your homework, Mark. You're going to knock out a few episodes of this, and
Please don't say knock out. Yes, I will.
we'll regroup on what you watch on Wednesday and talk about it.
I'll be there.
Ed Winter has died. Ed Winter, known as Coroner to the Stars here in LA County, has died aged of 73. He was deputy LA County coroner, and he led some high-profile investigations. I remember going out there and interviewing him when I was a reporter on the field years ago. But he investigated the deaths of several high-profile celebrities: Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Paul Walker, Tom Petty, Brittany Murphy. He retired back in 2019 after nearly 17 years as deputy coroner. The cause of his death is not clear. Another story we are keeping our eye on for you: President Biden looking to tweak the nation's immigration rules. It's not sitting well with Republicans. There's a move to allow some asylum seekers to stay in the U.S. while their court cases play out. Some Republicans say that would be a magnet which attracts more illegal immigrants to our border because these take sometimes years to play out. So we'll see how far away those two sides are when they meet at the bargaining table. Saw this headline over the weekend and what the hell? I did not know this was a thing. Disability Day of Mourning. Roughly a dozen people went into a church in Burbank at the beginning of March to mark Disability Day of Mourning. They heard the names of people killed by parents and other relatives or caregivers. They listened to poems, songs, readings about the outrage of disabled people losing their lives to those who were supposed to take care of them.
Boy, that's troubling, huh?
Yes. In the United States, people with disabilities are nearly 4 times as likely to be a victim of a violent crime as those without disabilities. And when they are victimized, people with disabilities are twice as likely as other people to suffer violence at the hands of a family member, including their parents.
Jeez. That's chilling.
The pastor, Lutheran pastor, they said, like many others in this chapel, has personal experience. He is an autistic man diagnosed in adulthood. He's also the father of autistic children. One of his diagnosis set in motion his own path to understanding his daughters, led him to rethinking things in life and in the church.
I consider, it's weird, I just say I don't consider people on the autism spectrum disabled at all.
I don't either.
And
And I thought
in
it's
fact,
much more common than you would
yeah,
think.
in fact, right, exactly. I mean, there are so many people who are on the autism spectrum somewhere. My nephew is autistic, and he's brilliant, and he's also, so right now, we could go down to ALAC, and he would, could rock. And there's nothing about him that, but I guess he's wise to hear that autism would be in any way included in the, I understand that on that scale, you can also be in an extreme circumstance on that autism spectrum that leads you that way, but I don't consider autism necessarily, just during the word, I don't consider it a disability.
I don't either. This apparently just was super chilling to use your words there. Inside this Burbank church, the names were read out on a recording. The faces of each of the dead appeared briefly on the screen as their names were heard. A toddler sticking out their tongue, a white-haired woman, her surgical mask pulled down to show a smile. A young woman seemed to be posing for a selfie. For some, there was only a white rectangle that said photo unavailable. For others, a photo of a tombstone. 10 minutes went by as the names were read.
Now, these are people who were killed because of their disability.
Right.
Is what they were going to say.
Apparently, their excuse sometimes is that they are mercy killing. So that was what they wanted to highlight, that these are not mercy killings, that these are murders.
You know, sometimes the charge of taking care of someone with a disability is a burden, right?
Yeah.
And you hope that those, and generally it is the case, that those who take on that burden are committed to it. You know, it's a responsibility, like any. But then there are these cases where you have literally family members who are involved in, as you say, this sort of both mercy killing or who decide to deal with the responsibility by literally killing the person that they are responsible for.
It's heartbreaking in one hand because of these people being murdered. On the other hand, it's heartbreaking that these were not natural-born killers. That these are people that would probably ever commit a murder. They would never think of it, but that they're taxed so much, or they're burdened so much, or their heart's breaking so much for whatever ailment their loved one has, that they're led to being murderers. It's just really screwed up all the way
I
around.
mean, look, the special needs kid is in need of special care. And as the parents, and this is where society comes in, because you don't always have the resources and means to take care of the child with special needs. But they reference in the piece that you saw in the LA Times that the San Diego woman drowned her 4-year-old autistic son in the bathtub. I mean, this is clearly someone who is frustrated, right, and has no acceptable outlet apparently to handle that frustration or to get help. It makes you skin crawl.
I had never heard of Disability Day of Mourning, but I also didn't know that this was as prevalent as it is in this country. So it's something that it's always good to know more. The more you know, Mark.
Yes, more you know. Thank you.
It's terrible to hear.
Right. But you feel compelled to. I think sleeping again. Cash is my stray cat, and she's adorable. You would love her because she is super social.
Well, I'm sure you've got pictures on your phone you can share.
Well, look, maybe I can find.
And all sorts of things.
How dare you?
I love your look for your feline friend. Okay. All right. Was there a fifth plane on 9/11? There's a new investigation that raises some serious talk about it. We'll come back. Gary and Shannon, KFI AM 240 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Mark Thompson in with me today, and Deborah Mark with me. The first day of spring is going to be a wet one. The National Weather Service says Southern California will see light rain today, and it'll get more intense tonight. Forecasters say we'll likely see heavier rain, very strong winds, and mountain snow late tonight. The Coastal Valleys could see 1 to 2 inches of rain. The mountains could get 2 to 4 inches. Snow levels will start out at about 5,000 feet, but will fall to 4,000 feet tomorrow afternoon, and then to 3,000 feet tomorrow night and Wednesday morning. The news is brought to you by Sunlight. Police are looking for an armed robber who hit 2 locations on the same day in Larchmont Village. LAPD says the man allegedly responsible for both robberies last week had a handgun and took cash, debit cards, cell phones, tablets, and designer bags from people. Some residents say they are taken by the robbery.
People thought that it's kind of been a common thing around here for a while, with friends that when we work in neighborhoods and stuff like that, we're not seeing that it's safe and whatnot.
This man works in the store in Larchmont Village, Southeast LA District, a rural area, are trying to work together to share surveillance footage of the street after the nearby break-in. Police described the robber as a black man, about 30 years old, 6 feet tall, and 180 pounds. The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments in a water rights case brought by the Navajo Nation against the federal government and several states, including California. The Navajo Nation is asking the Supreme Court to ensure the tribe has access to enough water.
The Navajo Nation says 150 years ago, the U.S. government signed treaties that promised them a permanent home. A promise the Navajo Nation says includes a sufficient supply of water.
ABC's Mark Remillard. The case comes as western states are trying to deal with drought in an overtaxed Colorado River. The federal government disputes the claim, saying more water for the Navajo Nation could cut into already scarce supplies. And money can now buy some legitimacy on social media. Meta is finally coming out with age-verified subscription service. following tests in Australia and New Zealand. This will cost $12 a month on the web and $15 if you want to sign up through iOS or Android. Jennifer Jones, Lee, KFI News. Southland weather from KFI mostly cloudy, may see some light rain, highs in the low 60s for Metro LA. Upper 50s to mid 60s for the San Gabriel and San Fernando Valley. Mid 50s to around 60 in the Antelope Valley. Upper 50s, low 60s for inland Orange County and the Inland Empire. Tomorrow, though, we're getting that heavy rain and it will be very windy. Right now, 57 in Seal Beach and 60 in Ladera Ranch. We're going to a crash on the 57 in Anaheim.
This is the Maryland northbound sign just before Coachella. It's the right lane that's taken away, and we're not guy right now heading northbound on the 57. Not too crazy, but I definitely see people approaching Coachella. Further northbound, you will see a bit of a slowdown as you make a turn to 91 toward about Orangeburg, and on the southbound side of the 57, still taking a pretty rough go for you as the morning drive heads into the midday from about here heading to the 91. 91 east and west, you're over on the boulevard, coming out, you over on the 2 Anaheim Hills, between those ways, considering for about State College. East on 91, passing ways straight from Harvard Boulevard, and should be straight back towards the 55. KFI News kind of get there faster. I'm Nick Collins.
I was in my basement yesterday. I was actually building something, but I was remembering the time that I walked into that basement and there was about a foot of water in there. We had a pipe break, and what a disaster. So this is why you pay insurance there, right? You open up a claim with your homeowner's insurance company, and then you get the ugly life lesson that your insurance adjuster is trying to pay you so little you will not be able to repair the damage. I didn't know about AdnerGat at the time, and I sure wish I did, because this is the time to call AdnerGat. AdnerGat is looking out for you. AdnerGat is a public insurance adjuster who is on your side. You can try to negotiate with your insurance company yourself, but you're going to find really quickly it's not simple. AdnerGat negotiates on your behalf, make sure you are getting the best possible outcome, not that insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for many years. This is all they do. They've got the experience and the industry know-how you need on your side. They're also rated 5 stars on Yelp, Google, and Better Business Bureau. No one messes around with AdnerGat and his team. Give them a call, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AdnerGat.com. That's AdnerGat, AdnerGat.com, or call him directly, 818-917-5256.
Stop going it alone for recruiting and staffing. Choose a local expert. Hiring is about getting to know people, not algorithms. So let the team at Express Employment Professionals hire for you. Visit expresspros.com to find the office near you.
I'm Mark Coach, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I told you about how your nose is divided care filter. The Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergies, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like John, quote, after walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much blood, but oh sweet, merciful air I can finally breathe in through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer, unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life. Data Victoria.
And iHeartRadio station.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The stories we are following for you today: Wall Street rising today after regulators pushed together 2 huge banks over the weekend, made other moves to build confidence in the struggling industry. Also, President Xi Jinping of China is hanging out with black Western leaders as their efforts to isolate Moscow over the fighting in Ukraine have fallen short.
That's certainly the message that they want to communicate.
Coming up, we will have a full report on this reopening of Toontown.
Yes.
Toontown was always my lesser favorite part of the park.
Well, because it's for kids.
Oh, right. And there's lots of them there. I always just thought it
Kevin
was
would run through Toontown. You wouldn't run, but you would walk at the briskest pace that could be considered a walk.
no, because I am a fan of birth control, so I'll spend my time there soaking it all in
To remind yourself.
myself. But we will have somebody who is a big fan of Disney coming on in the next hour to tell us all about the changes at Toontown. I also think that there's research to back up my claim about Toontown. I think it was one of the less traveled areas of the park.
Oh, that's interesting. And you know there are stats on that, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Ah.
We'll have to ask our Disney expert when she comes on.
Yeah, she'll know. She's all things Disney.
The captain of a United Airlines flight scheduled to take off the morning of September 11th, 2001, is convinced his plane was intended to be part of the coordinated terrorist attack. Pilot's name is Tom Manello, and TMZ has been investigating 9/11 with this plane that's going to debut tonight on Fox. He says, Tom, there's a good chance that somebody is plotting to try to use our airplane as a weapon of mass destruction. TMZ said it spent 6 months investigating these suspicious and alarming activities aboard Flight 23. It's a Boeing 767 that was due to leave JFK Airport for Los Angeles at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Among the planes,
This is what the part that interests me, because it's like, okay, I get it. You kind of think that your plane might have been next, but then they do know this, what channel.
he said he learned 2 box cutters had been found in the first class seat pockets of the plane parked next to Flight 23, which had a tail number 1 digit off. He says if somebody was on the ground cooperating with them, they just simply made a mistake and put the box cutters on the wrong airplane. And it was to be the hardest thing in the world to plant the box cutters on that plane at the time. Now it makes sense. And how could you not think that your plane from JFK to LA would not have been one of those targeted?
Well, here, let me just say, is how there are only so many of these guys, these terrorists, the group that, was involved in the 9/11 attacks. And I'll remind you that you could carry on the box cutter in the old days. Sure. So you don't need to plant them in some seat pocket. The fact is, those box cutters that were used in that brutal attack and killing, those box cutters were carried on. They were, as I say, they were permitted. The two on now. But this is why I kind of give that the eye roll a little bit.
Well, how about this? Flight attendants aboard the plane that day shared their suspicions about 4 people in first class. Talking about 2 men, a child, and a person who was dressed in a hijab. With the crew believing it was a man pretending to be a woman. And then there was also the sweater, a man profusely sweating in business class. I feel like that was portrayed in the movies about 9/11, that some of the hijackers were profusely sweating.
Mm-hmm. But why then didn't this plane get used in the 9/11 attack?
Because they put box cutters on the wrong plane.
So literally the whole operation was wrong because 2 box cutters didn't make it on?
I guess.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
are you
sorry.
suspicious about this conspiracy?
Why is everybody believing everything that
And
this
you also think those chemtrails are perfectly fine too.
Hey, what?
And birds are really birds?
What conspiracy theory at a time, please, people?
The flight attendant said the man was sweating profusely. It was very odd, she remembers, because it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and airplanes are ice cold anyway for that first flight out. And it was a cold morning. The flight crew reported struggling to get proof plates for their first class flyers who did not eat meat, igniting an argument between the passengers
Maybe he was sweating the fruit plate coming out on time.
and then the first class attendant, a woman identified in a documentary as Deborah. Now, if I'm going to hijack a plane, I'm not ordering a freaking fruit plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Food's probably the last thing on my mind if I'm about to take down a plane into think you were targeted.
Thank you. You're coming over to my
I
side.
am. The first class passengers said that they could, or the first class passengers allegedly were saying, we do not want to eat, we don't need food, we want to take off, we don't need food, we just want to go.
Oh, well.
Oh, and that plays into my side.
You're right.
Because here's the thing, I've flown first class maybe twice.
We just went to fly into the.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Give me all the free champagne. Like, give me 9 glasses before wheels up. That's how I approach first class. And I never paid the actual cost of it. I'm moving up to first class, and I did like $50 or something. It was like in Seattle, and they accepted my bid. And so I was just like, I rub my feet, give me the bubbles. Like when you sit in first class, you want to get all the accoutrement that comes with it, right? You want to take advantage of it. So it would be very alarming for 4 people to sit down and say, no, we didn't want anything.
Yeah. No, that, well, okay. So I'll put that in the make it happen that way column. Yeah. I mean, it's provocative, and I'm sure it's going to be presented in a provocative way. You know, it's Harvey Levin and the TMZ people, you know. They did interview the flight attendants, the FBI did, later that day. Took them to a lineup with the port authorities to see if they could identify the first-class passengers that drew their suspicion that the behavior seemed unusual. You know. But no arrests were reported. So.
What happened to that family? What happened to the man in the hijab?
Yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know. FBI did not comment.
Wouldn't it be eerie if you're flying on 9/11 and you take off from New York and you land safely? And this was before people had to, well, some people have cell phones, I guess, a lot of people have cell phones.
Yeah, so it's up and through.
But I don't know if
And there were calls from the planes.
there were calls from the planes, yeah. But if you're that pilot and you're, everything else is grounded and you're flying to LA,
Oh my God, yeah, you're thinking,
you're
right.
thinking that you could be next.
Yeah, this is, look, as I say, it's provocative, it's interesting. I don't buy it, but then again, I haven't seen it yet. So it's on Monday, it's up tonight at 9 o'clock.
Cash isn't the only pet that will make the show today. Time to move over, Cash, for Mr. and Mrs. Pickles. We'll tell you about their flight when we return.
How dare you put Cash in the same category as Mr. and Mrs. Pickles?
Nobody puts Cash in the corner.
Yeah.
All right, Gary and Shannon looking to me. Mark Thompson in today, and Jennifer Marks in the KFI 24-hour news. Here we go. In arrested for allegedly posting online threats against Bell Gardens High School. The Bell Gardens Police Department says it was able to identify the person who made the online threat yesterday. A 3-year-old Cole running his first race suffered a fatal injury at Santa Anita Park. The California Horse Racing Board says Beverly Vista was hurt during the 6th race Saturday and had to be euthanized. Beverly Vista is the 8th horse to die from a racing or training injury this year at the track in Arcadia. Former Deputy LA County Coroner Ed Winter has died. He led the investigation into the deaths of several high-profile celebrities and was known as the coroner to the stars. Winter retired in 2019. It's not clear what caused his death. He was 73. Southland weather from KFI, mostly cloudy, mostly some light rain, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. This report brought to you by Jackson Stewart from the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center. Let's go places. We're going back to the Tang in Pomona.
A little bit of better news for you this go around. If you're making away westbound, right around Fairplex, or just before it's an early record because of I told Big Ray and Power involved kind of right lanes for a decent amount of time. So the westbound 10 is still going to be a little rough for your ride and heavy stretches from before you start getting into the upland area. I think those alerts easier to head towards the 57 and get lost out of California traffic. Westbound 60 is an alternate westbound, not too bad. It'll be a little slow going for you out the 719, Kino 3 Diamond Bar to the 57. Definitely looking better for you there. Or take the 210 west, this go around wide open free drive. On the right straight from Morgan House, Loma off the 15. As you make way for the 57, you say a fine this guy don't get there faster. I'm telling you, this report is sponsored by Wiggy's. 2 for $6. The best deal is best food. When you want the best deal on the best meal, choose Wiggy's 2 for $6. Pick from Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece crispy nuts, or a medium strawberry lemonade. Pair any 2 for just $6. Choose wisely. Choose Wiggy's 2 for $6. If you own a small business and you got through COVID and you were able to retain 5 or more employees, you could be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Do the math on that one. That's
your refund. So to find out if your business qualifies, go to getrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button. It only takes a few minutes. Go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com. The This Week Marketers Report, Chris Brand, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio, specifically audio influencers.
Audio has been a key component for us. Our consumer is omnichannel, so we need to be omnichannel. We use audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio. I think using the audio influencers has been a huge component for us. Working with iHeart, we were able to really tease out the audio influencers in key markets that were authentic Chipotle fans. And because it's authentic and because they're seen as trusted friends by the customers and the listeners, it's really been an effective strategy.
As the number one audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all. Every audience, smart conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
For your guaranteed biggest refund and 50% off tax prep. Switch to Tax and do it. 50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing participating locations. Max value $200. Visit taxanddoit.com/50 for terms.
Are you worried about your financial assets after recent events in banking? Cut through the market uncertainty with the tried and true safe haven against volatility. Gold! When it comes to investing in gold and silver, Legacy Precious Metals is the company we trust. Legacy Precious Metals is making it easier than ever to invest in precious metals with its revolutionary new online platform. Here, it's just a few clicks. You can open your account, select your metals, and start investing. They can store your metals in vaults or ship them directly to you. You'll have access to a personalized dashboard where you can track your portfolio growth in real time, anytime, putting you in complete control of your money. With Legacy Precious Metals, diversify your portfolio beyond bonds and stocks, safeguard your retirement, and preserve your portfolio's value against inflation. Protect your hard-earned money from market fluctuations. Call Legacy Precious Metals today at 866-691-2173 or create your free account now at buylegacygold.com. That's buylegacygold.com.
At Ralph's, shopping with pickup and delivery is the same as shopping in store. Same low prices, deals, and rewards on the same high-quality items. As one small click for groceries, one big win for busy families everywhere. Start your cart today at Ralphs.com. Ralphs, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See tax if you can.
Earn extra fuel points and save even more at the pump. You can earn 4 times the fuel points on your grocery purchase this Friday with your digital coupon. Download your coupon on our website. On the free iHeartRadio app, you never pay to hear what you love, and you never wait to hear what you want. Save your money, save your time, and listen anywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. This will be in jail for 6 hours.
What? Because you were throwing stuff on the skyway.
I was not throwing, I was dropping. You must give your best to do what you can. How is that a jailable offense? Why did he just kick me out? He had other options.
Did you get your butter thing?
Okay, we have Nick Smiley and Pointed by live 7 to 10 p.m. on KMI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Gary is away. I can't thank you, sir.
Yeah, great to be here.
Former President Trump is preparing to be arrested in New York City tomorrow, but it could be days before he appears in court. Former President is only going to be arrested if he's indicted by a grand jury in Manhattan involving hush money to adult porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump may not even be handcuffed if you are looking forward to that, but he will be read his Miranda rights and booked before being arraigned. He'll most likely be out on bond right away.
You'll have a mugshot taken.
Yeah.
You will be fingerprinted.
Right. And then give it a pat on the back and see you in a week.
Yeah.
New reporter, he, by the way, called on his supporters to protest
The first officers that arrived at Uvalde did not engage the shooter because of the weapon he was using. God, news out of Uvalde is always terrible, isn't it? It's never gotten any better, it just gets worse. According to the Texas Crib, the officers told investigators they had no choice but to wait for backup after finding out the shooter was using an AR-15. Now, we do have a choice when there are children and there are people crying for the love of God.
Without a weapon at all.
Exactly.
If 11 of you go in,
Exactly.
you're going to stop this.
Right. We've got some animal news to tell you about, including tortoises, bears.
Wow. Do I have a choice, or do you have to just go in some order?
Well, I mean, do we have our animal desk out, Jake? Let's go fire that booty up.
There are wild animals around here.
That is a big bird. Not an animal.
I hope this woman's out of my time was jumping into a lot of that TRUMAN. It's so hard to believe. But I still say thanks. Yeah.
All right, so what do you want to start with, Mark?
I liked, what's the list again?
We've got
Super Rats, I remember. I like the Super Rats.
good for us. All right, let's go. Residents in South Wales say they have been infected with super rats the size of cats, and no one can stop them.
Oh, I love it.
It's a resort called Kennedy in South Wales. There's sandy beach, there's a pretty harbor, and with views. Thousands of tourists crawl out here each year.
No wonder the Super Rats crawl out also.
Yes, but now the locals say the tourism could be sabotaged because of the super rats as big as cats. They're going to overrun this resort town. We are big rats. I've got an aggressive squirrel that I'm dealing with at home. Squirrel that does whatever it wants to. It's a terrorist, is what it is.
So you have some experience, you're saying, personally, with the kind of thing that they're dealing with in Wales.
The squirrel seems to be hiding nuts in a planter box.
Did that bother you, does it?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it should hide its nuts somewhere else.
Why?
On its own land. It's aggressiveness. You know, like you're sitting outside and all of a sudden the squirrel's like right next to you. You know, you're doing what it wants to do.
Yeah, but all it wants to do,
It's not the personality of the cat.
all it wants to do is handle the nuts that are in the planter box. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's aggressive.
But why my planter boxes? I mean, the neighbors. Why do my planters get? There's no way.
You should feel honored.
There's really no
You
good
should
way
feel
to
honored
understand.
that your planter boxes are just. These Super Rats remind me of the movie. There was a movie many years ago called Willard. And Willard was a movie about rats. I never saw it, but I just know that the movie existed. And the reason I remember Willard is because it was so successful as a horror movie. The rats take over, like just these super rats, like what's going on, that it birthed a sequel. And the sequel was called Ben. Okay, because Ben was, I think, maybe the son of Willard, I don't know. But Jackson did a #1 song that was the theme of the movie.
Really?
Yeah. And so there was like a mini franchise there, Willard and Ben. Yeah. And as you were telling the story about the
So it was a good song. Huh?
the song is great.
Yeah.
The song is actually really good.
Let's move on to Mr. and Mrs. Pickles, shall we?
Yes.
Mr. Pickles is 90 years old, and he and his mate, little one. Could you imagine being 90 and giving birth?
And,
I mean, not giving for you to give birth, but being 90 and becoming a father.
yeah, no, again, it's, yeah, to still be
You could do it. I don't know if
reproductively
you know how men's bodies work, but you could do it.
I don't, all right. It's funny that you should mess with that. But this, to have that vitality going, you're saying, into your hundreds is pretty wild.
Yeah, and that's Mr. Pickles for you. He's an endangered radiated tortoise. And the three little ones are called dill, gherkin, and jalapeno. Get it, Mr. and Mrs. Pickles?
Oh, I do now. Thank you.
Now, the eggs were a surprise to the staff. A keeper covered the eggs up into safety of the reptile and amphibian house. Now, it's considered unique because the soil in Houston is not hospitable to the Madagascar tortoises. And it's unlikely the eggs would have been miracle baby tortoises. has lived there in Houston Zoo for 36 years, along with Mrs. Pickles.
Again, he didn't have a lot of options.
And knocked it out real quick because the Pickles welcomed their first baby in 1997.
Well, maybe they're happy there then.
Of course they're happy. They're still banging around in their 90s.
That's what I'm saying.
Good for them.
Yeah.
There is a new job that you may be interested in New Mexico. The New Mexico Department of Game and Fish has posted a job listing on the Facebook seeking professional bear hunters.
It sounds it sounds dirty.
It sounds dirty. How? How so? Walk me through this.
Well, aren't those people who are dressed up in
In a hurry?
the furries? Thank you. That's what makes me think of.
Not always sex.
Oh,
We've
really?
done a deep dive on fur.
Thank you.
Several
Please
times.
do tell.
Sometimes it's not about sex.
I see.
Sometimes it's just about dressing up in furs.
Huh? No, then I have.
Sometimes it's about cuddling.
Jeez.
The whole thing.
I really feel bad that I misjudged the furries.
Well, you weren't completely wrong. You just didn't have a full. You're ignorant.
No, it's true. I feel better when you put it like that.
In addition to bear hunting, interested applicants stated in the job post must have the ability to hike in strenuous conditions, have the courage to crawl into a bear den, and have trust in your coworkers to keep you safe during the process. No, no, and no.
Yeah.
If you're crawling into a bear den willy-nilly with no reservations, that's Darwinism. That's not a job.
Yeah, I'd say trusting your coworkers. I think I could say no to that. I think the first part where you're hiking around with them, that could be fun.
Would you trust me in a bear hole?
I trust you over a lot of other people. Yes, I would.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, I would. Right.
All right, coming up next.
Would you rather have Conway or me? I think probably you over Conway.
Yes. He would not take on a bear.
Honey, I'm sorry. I was getting some action down on March Madness.
Coming up next, we'll dive into all things Washington. Trump is said to be in panic mode as he braces for likely charges revolving around a porn star. Okay, we'll do that when we come back to here.
Oh, hey, everybody. Today is the first day of spring. Equinox. Not the gym, the day. KLSC-HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the Radio app.
Get ready for a strike. I'm Deborah Mars, live from the KFI 24-hour news from All Service Employees International Union members throughout California. Today will stand with LA School District workers who set to go on strike. Executive Director with NCIE Local 99, Matt Ariel says he's puzzled by the district's attempt to hoard a nearly $5 million reserve.
Not all the bathrooms are open. Playgrounds may be dirty. There's not enough staff to support students. There's not enough staff for sure to support special ed students.
LAUSD made new offers to Rowan Union Friday while it filed charges against Local 99, calling the strike unlawful. The district's request for an injunction was rejected yesterday, confirming the workers' right to protest. In LA, Chris Asher, KFI News. Governor Newsom is working to have voters choose whether the state should invest more in treating people with mental health issues.
The governor's proposed bond measure would raise between $3 billion to $5 billion. Newsom says the money would create up to 6,000 new mental health treatment beds in what he calls state-of-the-art facilities.
And we have to address and come to grips with the reality of mental health.
Newsom's proposal would also direct at least $1 billion from the existing Mental Health Services Act to house people with mental health and substance abuse issues. The ballot measure would go before voters in 2024 if approved by the legislature. Blake Trolling, KFI News.
Officials in San Bernardino County say they're getting ready for more winter weather. They say this storm is expected to keep tomorrow and Wednesday and dump as much as 3 more feet of snow on mountain communities. Some of those areas were hit with as much as 10 feet of snow during storms in late February and earlier this month. Snow updates this time around are expected to drop to 3,000 feet. 2 to 4 inches of rain is also forecast for mountain areas. Coast and valleys could fall more than 60% of early trading on news of the deal, allowing UBS to buy its smaller rivals for more than $3 billion. Market strategist Art Hogan says the bid is not unusual.
Investors and banks in the market itself are likely to be on edge, but I think that most of the things answered very much like the sigh of relief we're feeling in the European banks right now. We'll start to get that sometime next week in the U.S. regional banks.
Swiss Federal Council passed an emergency ruling allowing these credits to go through without the approval of shareholders. Chinese President Xi Jinping has
arrived in Russia for a 3-day visit. ABC's Britt Lennox says it's the Chinese leader's first trip to before the war in Ukraine or after the war in Ukraine. The Chinese leader leads an obstacle in Chinese state media, underlining the need for talks to achieve lasting peace and common security. There are expectations of a call between Xi and Ukraine President Zelensky sometime after Xi's Moscow visit. Russia says China's ceasefire plan for Ukraine would be discussed during talks between Xi and President Putin. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he has rejected calls for protests if former President Trump is arrested in his case being investigated by the Manhattan DA's office.
I don't think there's a protest this time.
McCarthy made the comment again after Trump posted a prediction on social media that he would be arrested this week as part of the DA's investigation into a hush money paid to court actor Stormy Daniels. Trump calls for his supporters to protest, as he put it, take our nation back. McCarthy did say DA Alvin Bragg is using his office to target President Trump while being reduced a majority of felonies, including violent crimes, to misdemeanors. The JFI Financial Update is sponsored by Jacoby and Myers Injury Attorneys. The Dow is up in the 15, S&P 500 up 28, NASDAQ up 20, and the average price per gallon of regular gas in California is $4.85. Wait, maximize your compensation after an accident. Call Jacoby and Myers now. Justice for you since 1972. Dublin weather from KF5, mostly cloudy, mostly light rain today. Highs in the low 60s for Metro LA, upper 50s to mid 60s for the San Gabriel and San Fernando Valley, mid 50s to around 60 in the Antelope Valley, upper 50s to low 60s for inland Orange County and the Inland Empire. And tomorrow we get that heavy rain again, and it will be windy. Right now, 55 in Orange, 59 in Buena Park, 63 in Aurora Hills, and 56 in Sherman Oaks. From the Southern California Toyota dealers, South Center, let's go places with window crash on the 10 in Pomona. On the 10 westbound Roger here, but drive. They just got even over the right shoulder, but it is really slow. I say at least from Indian House Boulevard. Also in industry, 60 west of Fullerton got grass clear and over to the shoulder from the middle lane. You're stacked up from the 67. San Fe Springs, 605 Southeast 45 heads up at diesel fuel spills in that middle lane. You've already got a slow ride from Whittier Boulevard. In Long Beach, 405 north of the 710 got a crash in the Parkway lane. Lincoln Heights on the 5 north out of Mission Road. Dive crash clear into the right shoulder. It is going to be closed up from the 60. And also on the 101 north, right on Mission Road, near the on-ramp there. Looks like you've got a sold-out vehicle in the right lane. The second lane from the left past this tunnel. Clarifying the sky helps getting there faster. I'm Jenny Harmon.
Usually air conditioning on a hot summer day can be a sweatable nightmare, and no one wants that, Jack. Help your air conditioner last longer and reduce breakdowns with a rejuvenation.
Well, it's 6 critical adjustments, so you'll stay cool, use less energy, and increase the life of your system.
We'll clean the outdoor coils the right way, not the easy way.
Rejuvenation, just for $129.
Gale Air Conditioning and Plumbing. GeoTTL.com. If you can cool, it's hard to spell.
License number 1047-781.
When I can't sleep, my mind is just racing. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about keeping melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
Equal Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. Equal Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus next day energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
Poor Sam, who is not always itching, licking. His paws were soaking wet. He had bald spots on his back. And I hope he has that. 2 weeks after he started dynamite, I started seeing great improvements. And today, 99% of his issues are non-existent. Dynamite is nutrition. Dynamite is the best thing you can do for your dog. Your dog will be. I get my dynamite from VITE.com.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermites.com or call 800-PACIFIC. For stimulating talk.
here. Listen to every play from Arizona in HD on the free iHeartRadio app. Keyword AM 570 LA Sports. This afternoon, the Dodgers take on the Rockies. First pitch at 6:40. Your home of Dodgers baseball is AM 570 LA Sports. Stories we are keeping an eye on for you today. It opened 20 years since the war in Iraq began. President George W. Bush formally announcing the start of the war in a televised address, and its beginning was designed to bring shock and awe. Remember that? I remember watching that on TV. Bush spoke to the nation shortly after the explosions began to rock Baghdad. U.S.-led coalition forces launched air attacks about 90 minutes after a deadline for Saddam Hussein to leave Iraq had passed. First targets were hit with Tomahawk cruise missiles from U.S. aircraft and warships in the Persian Gulf. The U.S. declared an end to the war nearly 10 years after the fighting began. Barack Obama campaigned on ending the war as a candidate who did so when he became commander-in-chief.
Yeah, it didn't work out so well.
It didn't work out the way that they advertised.
The way it was in the brochures. I argued that. I remember arguing with some very smart people about that entire thing. I wasn't told it was a huge mistake, but I wasn't alone. Many people were saying to me.
That was one of the first times in my adult life where I saw a division occur, a political division between people, and fully grasp and understand what it was all about. And I remember the dad's war, that being a topic of conversation. I was too young to really understand the pros and cons, but when that decision to invade Iraq really did provide people. One of the first ones I can remember.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 o'clock, we dive in all of the Washington news. The government doesn't work. Oh, man.
They make it like reality TV.
What up was a bad fish?
Always like anywhere in Washington, D.C.
Hey, Joe.
That town also clearly built on a swamp. Something ways somehow.
Yeah. You know, well, we have talked about the potential for former President Trump to be indicted, and it looks like it's on hold because there could possibly be 2 more grand jury witnesses to testify. Now, we mentioned earlier that once Trump came out over the weekend on Truth Social and said, I'm going to be arrested Tuesday, there's no way in hell they'd actually arrest him on Tuesday because they don't want him to think that he was right or that he had some sort of pipeline to get information out of the Manhattan DA's office. But now we're learning about these 2 witnesses. One witness is Rudy Giuliani lawyer Robert Costello, an ex-attorney for the key prosecution witness Michael I'm Not a Great Guy Cohen. Cohen himself may then be called by the prosecution to rebut Costello.
Right. Costello's there as the Trump legal team rep. He was called in by Trump's legal team. And he was once a legal advisor to Trump lawyer Michael Cohen. So you have Michael Cohen there. They bring in Cohen to rebut it, right?
The grand jury meets in secret Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoon and will next convene for 3 hours today. The grand jurors must hear all evidence and be informed of the relevant law, called and charged by prosecutors before they can begin deliberations and voting. If these tasks are not completed in 3 hours, grand jurors are going to come back on Wednesday, and then Friday as well.
So they say, and this is the way the indictment is packaged, that the hush money that was paid to the porn star, Stormy Daniels, violated campaign finance laws. So that's what this whole thing is about. And as Shannon was saying earlier, of the grade of stuff that Trump has to deal with from a legal standpoint, this may be one of the lesser deals.
It's such a silly thing to take it down. When you think about that campaign in 2016, he was a Teflon to porn star. Did he really ever think that people would be like, oh, well, then hell?
Exactly.
I mean, was this when he was courting the evangelicals? I don't know what the timing was, but it sounds like this was not something that was imperative for him to become elected.
This is something I've said the same thing. I'm so glad to hear you say it because it struck me as a weird place for him to draw the line. Like you survived, grabbed them by the feet. You survived an entire thing and that conversation. You handled that in debate. It didn't affect your poll numbers, and still you paid the hush money. Now, here's the other side of that. If you're Trump, you're like, yeah, just pay her off. Keep her quiet. You know what I mean?
Right. He's probably done it.
Right. And so you play the Teflon that way, which is fine. It was stick to me. Just pay her. Send her a check. Let's get out for stuff.
I know a specific Hall of Fame quarterback, who will not name, who has this reputation of having all sorts of these women at all different area codes, shall we say. But just pays them off, and you never hear about it. If I told you this person's name, you'd be like, no. I mean, maybe you thought they obviously could because of what their star power is.
Sure.
But you wouldn't think that this would be somebody that would mess around on his family as much as he does. But the key, according to people who know, is that he has them sign these contracts, he pays them off, and they remain quiet.
Wow.
Ron DeSantis. And he did something that was very creative, didn't he? He came out, and he's the one who brought up, maybe somebody asked him something about what he thinks about Trump, and he kind of laid out the dirty details. Ron DeSantis says, look, I don't know what goes into paying question money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I just can't speak to that. So that prompts laughter and applause from the audience. So he's, on one hand, throwing Trump under the bus for being shady and, some kind of weird, into some weird things. But then he goes after the Manhattan DA and says that this DA, Alvin Bragg, is pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. So on one hand, he's in Trump's corner, but on the other hand, he's taking flights at him, which is smart.
Yeah, very, very smart.
Yeah.
It's like, do me a favor, don't speak on my behalf again. Right. I mean, it's a total smear on Trump, and then he goes on to the DA.
All right, coming up next, we will have all of the latest out of Washington when it comes to updated news for you, including the White House calling the House Freedom Caucus budget proposal a five-alarm fire. Here in the channel will continue. Mark Thompson in today, and Deborah Mark is in KSI 24-Hour Nation. LA School District Superintendent Alberto Carvalho has issued another plea for the Service Employees International Union Local 99 to return to the bargaining table in hopes of averting a 3-day strike that starts tomorrow. 3 men have been found guilty of killing rapper XXX Tentacion, who was shot outside a motorcycle shop in Florida while being robbed. The man was found guilty of first-degree murder and armed robbery by a jury that deliberated for more than 7 days. They will all get mandatory life sentencing for the murder in 2018 at a later date. Amazon CEO has told employees in a memo that the company plans to eliminate 9,000 more jobs in the next few weeks. We're going to crash on the 405 in Long Beach. 405 northbound Rocky Way to 7. And it wasn't a carpool lane, looks like we just got that over the right shoulder. Still going to see some flow down from Furiano. Tennessee Springs, 605 southbound right out at 5. Moving truck was leaking from diesel fuel in the middle lane. The truck itself is over on the right shoulder, but it's going to be slow from Washington. Rolling out 60 west on Fullerton Road, got that crash clearing to the shoulder, and good news in Pomona and westbound before you secure left side. That crash cleared to the shoulder, still going to be slow to like see some delays from Town Avenue. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jim Harnett.
If you are ever injured in an accident, could be a car accident, motorcycle, truck, even a dog fight, call a firm that's been helping injured accident victims for 18 years.
And we're talking about Sweet James accident attorneys. Sweet James settled $188 million this last year alone for their injured clients. And the best part is, every time they settle a case, they donate meals to those in need.
Where they fed almost 80,000 people in the last year. Most people don't know what to do when they're in an accident. You may not be able to use your car, the injury may not allow you to go to work or take part in your normal everyday activities.
If it happens to you, just call Sweet James. Speak to somebody who cares. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, you're going to get the compassion that you need. You're going to get help with medical treatment, and you're going to get the money and the justice you deserve.
So if you've been hurt in an accident, call Sweet James, voted the best attorneys in America.
800-500-5200. That's 800-500-5200. Or go to sweetjames.com.
This report is sponsored by Memorial Care. Whether it's Sunday afternoon or 3 a.m., whenever, they're with you at Memorial Care. Get high-quality care virtually or in person with video visits, day or night, 24/7 telephone support, and more. Visit choosememorialcare.org for more information.
When you want the best deal, on the best deal, choose Wendy's 2 for $6. Pick from Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece crispy nuggets,
and they understand what's going on in those very unique communities. iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is rural, connected, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local field at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
It's the #1 audio company. iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
The Way Las Vegas welcomes you to Awakening, a new theatrical experience created by award-winning artists, enriched by spectacular sound, meet colorful characters, and journey with them through wondrous realms. Experience Awakening. Get your tickets at awakening.com.
Hey, all, it's Steve Sharp. For emergency backup power, there is only one name you need to know. Duffy Power. Since 1965, Southern California has relied on Duffy for powering the most critical situations. Hospitals and high-rises, data centers and school districts, every form of business, big or small, even homes and RVs, whether it's a new generator or Duffy's legendary repair and maintenance service, or an emergency rental, Duffy Power has you covered 24/7, 365. If you live or do business in Southern California, you know it's no longer a question of if the power is going to go down. It's only a question of whether you're just going to let it happen or taking control. Taking control means it's time to call Duffy Power. To learn how to protect yourself from the next outage and all the ones after that, go to DuffyPower.com. DuffyPower.com. That's DUTHIE Power.com.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into yours. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and help you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Anybody who said, well, we really need more rain, you should have saved all of the snow and rain from this past winter. Built a storage system and collected all this. And then we wouldn't have to worry for 20 years whether it rains or not. John and Ken, this was your big chance. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KMI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Gary 7, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Mark Thompson hanging out with me today. Coming up, we will get to the Lester Murdaugh story. That's right, another Murdaugh in the news. This is the surviving son. Of course, we told you about how dad was convicted of the murder of his wife and other son. Well, one of the bodies that's stacked up around this family involves the surviving son, Buster Murdaugh. And he is speaking out today after the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division reopened an investigation into one of his friend's deaths. He claims that he had nothing to do with Stephen Smith's death nearly 8 years ago. It was initially ruled a hit and run, but there's new evidence that led to the family exhuming the body. And now Buster Murdaugh looks like he may be on the hook for this one. We will watch and see what happens as that plays out. The White House is calling the House Freedom Caucus budget proposal a five-alarm fire. In a statement, the White House argued spending cuts in the conservative group's plan would endanger public safety, shift manufacturing jobs overseas for seniors, and weaken national security. The caucus is proposing measures that would cut current spending, place a cap on future spending, typical Republican things. Biden's administration claims the proposal would make the border less secure as it would eliminate funding for more than 2,000 border agents. You know, I just wanted to put a bow on this Trump story with him calling for protests over the weekend in connection to what could be his indictment. I was surprised by Marjorie Taylor Greene splitting with him on this. She's usually a Trump apologist there on Capitol Hill. And she said people should not protest
round off the comment, or she just said people should not protest?
She tweeted, "We don't need to protest about the communist Democrats planning to arrest President Trump and the political weaponization of our government and election interference.
That's what I wanted to hear.
These idiots are stealing their own fate in 2024 because the silent majority has two feelings right now about the current regime." Yes, you're right. You need her to come with a dose of crazy, or it doesn't feel right.
She never disappoints.
Kevin McCarthy also pushed back on Trump's calls for protest that he's indicted.
Small P on pushback, I'm guessing, with Kevin McCarthy.
It's all very weak strain.
Yeah.
But more important, I know we're doing political news in Washington, but you alerted me to this story, and I have been eating it up with a spoon about Good Morning America.
Yes, I love the GMA stuff because it's, that sexy in the morning.
It's so sexy. I mean, we were talking off the air about how those two anchor people, and by the way, I got some pushback when I went public with my opinion that they should have stayed on the air. That were cheating and co-anchors, and I thought it was your rating freaking.
I said, temporarily put Robin Roberts on a leave of absence for 3 months. He put those two on. All 3 hours. Not only to get rid of it all, they are ratings catnip. And instead, they get rid of it.
It was ridiculous. I would have watched that show for the first time in decades had they left them on. Well, now there's a new problem at Good Morning America. This time it's with ABC weatherman Rob Marciano.
Handsome fool.
He is not reported from the Good Morning America studio for nearly a year. Why? It's not that he likes to work from home. He was banned from the Times Square studio where the show shoots daily because he and a colleague feel uncomfortable last year.
Leaned into that handsome a little too hard one time, that Rob Marciano.
Did you ever get in trouble as a weatherman?
No, I don't have that Rob Marciano look. I'll tell you, I met him years ago at a weather conference. He was a gorgeous, he was very handsome dude, but a gorgeous girl with him. I think they went on to get married. And he was at CNN at the time, I think. Then he went on to ABC, dumped the wife, or they got divorced, I don't know, we got to. And now he's making news this other way. But he's always played on, like, World News Tonight played him up in the first segment almost every night. He had a star that was really burning brightly.
Yeah, well,
now they want it burning brightly outside the building.
He said he was found to have done something that was improper, and he was punished for it. They still haven't let him return.
Well, he wasn't taking, staplers and school supplies. He was making women there specifically feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's unclear exactly what happened between he and his colleague, but one source told Page 6 that he had been dealing with some anger management issues while going through a divorce from his wife, Erin. He made people feel uncomfortable. There was a period where there were some issues, a number of alarming events.
Wow, alarming events.
The employee relations took him off the air for a month following the alleged incident, but they still won't let him back in the studio several months later. This boss apparently is very no-nonsense, very serious. She's focused on the work. She wants to keep the staff focused and happy. Well, if he did something that he kicked him out for a year, why would they still have him on the air?
That was the question I had. Which is, it's so bad you can get away with keeping him out of the building.
Right.
Why don't you bounce? You must have a great agent or something. But
would you take a gig like that again?
I mean,
knowing what it entails and getting up at 2 in the morning.
I don't think I would. I really don't.
It's just not worth it.
It's not. When they started to send those weather guys, like in Good Morning America, out to the hurricanes and stuff, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, because that's the theater part of the thing we talked about. I mean, it's like I'm not really giving people information anymore. I'm kind of a phone. You know what I mean? I'm just not into it. And then, as you said, you wake up every morning, great, but you're going to make all this money. Yeah, but you're not going to enjoy it.
You're not
because you're tired all the time.
When you wake up at 2 in the morning, the time sheet by 9, and the day is gone, and it's like, well, you have the whole day. And it's like, well, yeah, but I feel like I've been on, amphetamines for 2 weeks.
And remember, camera ready. You have to be, I did Good Day LA for a couple of years. It was brutal. You have to be camera ready at whatever hour. And I'm amazed when I turn the television. These people are on 4 And they do a nice job.
They do a great job. You have to really be into it.
I'm astounded at how good those people look and sound and can speak.
I would be able to fake it with a tired. I'd just do a miserable thing.
But if you're Ron Marciano, even if you're getting kicked out of the GMA, just to go back to the story, life's pretty good. You know, he doesn't really have a lot of it sounds like he might have some anger management problems.
Is he that good looking to keep his job through something that would get him banned?
I don't know. I mean, it depends how bad. Like, you know, TJ I thought was pretty good looking too, or is pretty good looking. It wasn't good looking enough to keep his gig. Although I think that both TJ and Amy got big payouts.
Usually think I like him more with facial hair than without.
Ron Marciano,
It was rare for you.
Canada's got a Ron Marciano.
I've got my image search over here. All right, when we come back, Toontown has
I don't feel bad. I looked up his wife.
Okay.
It's a different wife than the one I met.
Oh, wow. Okay. Toontown is reopened. We will get a live report from someone with experience in the Toontown right here on Gary and Shannon. Deborah Mark is going to get a 24-hour news show. Financial health could take a while for people in the San Bernardino Mountains trying to recover from the storms. Property owners who have damage first have to go through their insurance company. The county's emergency operations director says government health supplements insurance coverage. It doesn't freeze it so far. More than 626 homes and other buildings have been damaged or destroyed in the storms, and the department is a week away from completing its damage assessment. A man has been hurt during a Civil War reenactment in Haruka Valley. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department's deputies went to Jensen Alvarado Historic Ranch and reviewed Saturday and found the man had been hit by some kind of projectile from an artificial gun. Cops say it was not a live round. The man was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Police say no arrests have been made. Not believe foul play was involved. The Federal Reserve will close a two-day meeting on Wednesday with its latest decision on whether to keep raising interest rates in an effort to tame inflation. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis says there's a sense of caution on Wall Street after UBS said it would buy Credit Suisse for $3.25 billion to avoid a third bank failure this month. The Credit Suisse deal following a week of volatility and panic set off by the collapse of two major U.S. banks, Silicon Valley and Signature Bank. The central bank has been increasing rates in an effort to make borrowing more difficult and slow the economy. Analysts say odds have tilted again toward an increase of 25 basis points in Fed fund rates to a range of 4.75 to 5%. A person has been arrested for a shooting outside a high school in Dallas that left two students hurt.
Lamar High School in Arlington, directly between Dallas and Fort Worth, has a student population of around 2,700. Classes were about to begin when someone heard gunfire outside.
ABC's Jim Ryan says the conditions of the two students is unknown because the school will remain on lockdown during the investigation. Police say the suspected shooter never entered the school building and was arrested soon after officers arrived. Southland weather from KFI looks with Patty. May see some light rain, reaching highs in the low 60s for metro LA, upper 50s to mid 60s for the San Gabriel and San Fernando valleys, mid 50s to around 60 in the Antelope Valley, upper 50s to low 60s for inland Orange County and the Inland Empire, and then we get that heavy rain again tomorrow and Wednesday, and it is going to be very windy tomorrow. Right now, 56 in Cypress, and it's 54 in Brea. We're going to a crash on the 71 in Pomona. 71 northbound, right at the 10 connector, a brand new crash. It was in that kind of divider area. And then on the 10 west, right at 57, couple of cars hit some pothole. They are stopped in the lanes. Rolling right 60 west on Fullerton Road. An earlier crash cleared over the right shoulder. In Long Beach, 405 25 before you get to the 710. That red in the carpool lane cleared to the right shoulder as well. Still going to see some delays from Scary Avenue. KFI in the sky, and I'll get you there faster. I'm Jen Garnett.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a
When you want the best deal on the best meal, choose Wendy's 2 for $6. Pick from Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece crispy nuts, or medium strawberry lemonade. Pair any two for just $6. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
I'm John Morgan, Morgan & Morgan. Industrial pound long. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America, and now the universe's largest injury law. Visit ForThePeople.com for an offer. Here's you.
I
I'm Martin Cope, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I told you about how your nose is the body's air filter. The Navage's power sucker will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Terrence, quote, my doctor wanted me to use saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pump. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. They're nice when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such relief. It's become a lifesaver. Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 billion people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, free nose, healthy life. Looking for your next investment opportunity? How about 100% passive ownership in commercial real estate? First National Realty Partners is backed by $1.5 billion in commercial real estate assets from Walmart, Whole Foods, Kroger, Publix, and more. Grocery store anchored commercial real estate offers day-one cash flow from high-credit national tenants, tax advantages with 1031 exchanges, inflation-fighting triple net lease, and more. Get information on current and upcoming opportunities today. Call 888-301-9010 or go to fnrpradio.com. Become an investor in owned and managed commercial real estate with national grocery store brand tenants producing quarterly cash flow. Call 888-301-9010 or go to fnrpradio.com. Securities are only available to verified accredited investors. Investments are subject to risk, including loss of principal. Cash distributions are not guaranteed. Any representations made about investment stability reflect FNRP's strategy and may or may not be realized. Visit fnrpradio.com. Dennis Dillon, RV, ViralRabbi.com. Massive overstock sale, over 1,000 RVs. You hear what's happening here. Now you can see it too. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at KFI AM 640.
Gary Sharon, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, we're going to be talking Mixtape Monday coming up in the next hour, and cover songs are the topic of the day. Do you have cover songs that you particularly love?
I sent a couple of covers to Mondo, knowing that you were going to be doing this. Yes.
Yes, you did your homework.
I quickly sent him one that I think you're going to like.
Okay, I'm excited.
The other one I don't think.
Oh, really? Some of them, some of the best covers, you don't know that they were covers.
Right.
You know, you're like, wait, that was redone? That wasn't that person who originally sang that?
Yeah.
And it's wild. Let's see, coming up also, we will be talking about March Madness. I just found myself unleashing a string of expletives at the television over a school I had never heard of on Friday. It felt good to have that competitive blood pumping through my veins again after the football season. So that was a lot of fun. Totally March Madness. But first, before we get to the expletives, we will get the nice stuff out of the way. Disneyland. Disneyland got an update on its Toontown. Well, it's not really a fan of the Toontown, but like you mentioned, it's probably because it's for children.
Right. It's not designed for you to be a fan of.
Right. Kristen Carr is a huge fan of Disney. She is a Disney creator. She returned. Thanks for joining the show.
Sure, thanks for having me.
So, how much of a fan, on the scale of 1 to 10, of Disney would you say you are?
I mean, do I admit publicly? I don't know, maybe an 8, but privately, people would know I'm about 12.
I like your honesty.
What's a Disney creator?
Basically, we share and sort of try to expose our audiences to everything Disney.
So, you, well, first of all, do you have a favorite part of the park of Disneyland?
Funny enough, I grew up going here and absolutely love everything about Disneyland. But funny enough, I have a really, really just affinity and love for the new Galaxy's Edge Star Wars thing.
No, that's great. That's great. You know, that interactive thing, right? Shannon, you've been down there? You've seen it,
Yes.
where they actually,
It's just fully immersive. It
yes,
just feels like you're fully immersed in it. Yeah, it's really incredible.
You know, I went to Disneyland to check that out the last weekend before COVID. And the week after I went to check that out, they closed down the park for a while. It was, I got in there and
Kristen, let me tell you quickly, and Shannon, you as well, what happened to me when I rode that. We get on there, and halfway through, right there when you're interacting with the characters, they had a problem with the ride. That must have happened. You must have seen this happen a bunch of times, Kristen, because you're there so much, but I've never seen you. And they take you out through this back entrance. But it looks like you're going through, like, you know, it could be a convention center back entrance somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and they tell you, come back, you'll show this or whatever, gives you the pass or whatever, and you get back on the attraction once we get it working again. It'll be like an hour and a half or something. But it was well, and the good thing about that was it was almost like riding the ride a second time.
One of the most troubling things in life is to see Disneyland behind the scenes stuff. When I was arrested for shoplifting, and that man in his khakis took me behind the Star Trader and into the wall, this door I didn't even know existed, and then you see, you know, Disneyland behind the wall, and it's terrifying. It's like you don't want to see Disneyland shut down or broken or, you know, the jail. Anyway,
First of all, that is a badge of honor, and so I'm so impressed with both of your stories because Shannon, that is quite the small circle you have of people who have been to Disney jail. So that's impressive in its own right.
yeah, I kind of feel bad for some Disney fans that they haven't seen me inside of the jail, and I have. Like the people who want to get into all the nooks and crannies of Disneyland.
It doesn't matter what Shannon says for the rest of the show, Kristen. The line, when I was arrested for shoplifting, will be the best line of the entire thing. So anyway.
So tell us about Toontown. What is it now versus what it was?
Well, so Toontown originally opened in 1993. I was about 10 years old at the time. I do remember it, and I think I was a little bit too old. I did enjoy it because I just loved all the characters, but obviously it's been quite a long time since they started first question or giving it anything new. We do have a new ticket attraction, which is Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is amazing because it's an amazing ride overall, and Florida did get it first. We have it now, but that is really the biggest ticket attraction that hit the back of that park. And now it's one of the only ticket attractions that has no height requirement, no age limit. So this new land is absolutely incredible for families with young children. So really, it's just one of those places you want to go, and there's tons of grass now. There's all these reimagined play areas, all interactive. So many fun things for little kids to do. I have 4 children myself, so I love going there in general, but now I'm really excited to go back with the kids. I went back with the kids this weekend, and my kids are very native. Obviously, I have twins that are 5, and then I have 2 boys that are a little bit older, and they actually still love it. They're 8 and 9 years old, and they were so excited to go and kind of check it out. So lots of stuff, and I love the way that everything is really in tune to how children play versus how we think they should be doing things. There's a lot of interactive stuff, a lot of fun, so much turf for families to sit and have little picnics and little rest areas. With everybody that's been to Disneyland knows we definitely need little areas of space, and this is going to provide that. And there's 3 rides there now, so now you can go on Disney's Runaway Railway, you can go on Roger Rabbit's Spin-Out, and you can go on the newly reimagined Chip and Dale's Gadget Coaster.
Well, it's true that there was always kind of a passive aspect to Toontown. It wasn't really Rideville. It was sort of just experience it. And now that you've added, as you suggested there, you know, and meaning you mentioned these rides that are there in Toontown, it seems like a different kind of experience. And the interactivity, now this is, Shannon, again, you can't shun this experience. The interaction that you have with the characters there in Toontown, I don't know per se, but I like that the performers interact with the visitors, and you're saying there's more of that now.
There is, and I love that now we have a brand new character, Keith, who is one of the oldest characters actually in Disney cartoons. So Keith there as well for Meet and Greet. But you also have all the characters that everyone really loves. You have the classic characters, and you have Mickey's house, which is so fun, and Minnie's house. So that's kind of really interactive, and it's super immersive as well, because those kids walk in and they get to see like his house and the TV that Mickey would use. And I feel like it's very here in